Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Co-Optional Podcast. It is the 3rd of June 2014. I'm being attacked by what sounds like a swarm of angry mechanical bees right outside the sodding window. It's just brilliant.
Mm-hmm. I can't hear anything, if that helps.
Yep, me neither.
I'm glad that you can't hear it. I need to go and step out to find out what the hell it is.
When he dies, it'll be a mystery. They'll be like,
That's
was it
true.
the bees? And
Jesse,
like,
Jesse, take over for a second. You did it last week. You'll be fine. Go.
Yeah, I
TB
think everybody
murdered
should
by
know.
bees this week.
Mechanical bees.
Mechanical bees. I think everybody
Yes.
should know that when we were doing sound check, TB complimented Jesse's abilities to run the podcast.
Indeed.
Good. So now
How
that he's
often
gone
does
and I'm
he
no longer in
compliment?
charge, I want to say, Hornsby's Cinema Insane is the best YouTube channel there ever was. So, how's everyone doing this week? Are we good?
Perfect.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm off my hiatus. I'm doing like legit work now.
Who's our strange guest this week? Introduce yourself, friend.
Hello, everybody. My name is Banzai. I go by Banzai, and I'm from the channel Birgirpall.
I'm sorry, what?
Birgirpall. Sorry.
What?
Birgirpall.
Can you say that in a language I understand?
Birgirpall.
Birgirpall?
Is that better?
What's that mean?
I mean, that sounds more like something you could maybe pronounce.
Yeah, that's just his name. Birgirpall.
Is it Icelandic?
Yes.
Good
Indeed.
lord.
Indeed.
Do you
So it
spend
doesn't-
all your days in like hot tubs with gorgeous women? That's what I imagine Iceland's like. Is that what
You
that
could.
is?
You could.
You could. I mean, if I wanted,
could.
You could do that here, so.
you could. But in Iceland, I imagine it's
Cheaper?
natural hot tubs.
Maybe?
Yeah.
It's normal,
kinda like-
basically.
Slipping
So
on
it's nothing
springs, yeah.
special. It's just like, we'll do
it's
it,
like-
sure, why?
There are just so many beautiful women everywhere. God, it's
Yeah,
boring.
just, those hot spring nymphs that just like emerge from the water the second you're in there and just.
So do we
Yeah.
figure out
Like a
how to
body.
pronounce Birgirpall yet, or not?
Nope, not a clue. Not a clue.
I think that's the easiest way to do it.
Yeah, I
Birgirpall.
gave
We've
up.
come to terms with that joke. We've come to terms with the joke.
That's fair.
So it doesn't mean something other than like a name. It's a name.
No, it's just a name.
Okay.
Basically, Paul is Paul,
Yes.
Oh, okay.
and the first name
Birgirpall.
Birgir is basically just an Icelandic name. I don't think it has any English.
So is it like Asian-y where it's reversed, like
Birgir.
Paul Burger?
Birgirpall.
No.
Birgirpall.
No, look, I can't. Look, Iceland, get on the same page as everyone else. I can't handle this anymore. Figure it out.
Exactly.
They don't need your approval, Jesse. They have hot springs with naked ladies in them
They so
24/7.
Indeed.
Dude,
They do not
We don't
care.
need to impress you. We already have.
I'm already impressed. I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh my. Welcome to the Co-Optional Podcast. We do occasionally talk about video games. I believe our guest has just been introduced. He is one of two men responsible for the unpronounceable channel that is just called Birgirpall because that's what we do,
Birgirpall.
Birgirpall,
enough.
yes.
Fair enough.
Birgi. It's down the bottom. It's below his bloody face. It's right there. It's on a little thing. You can go and visit his channel. They do a variety of interesting montages, which recently have consisted of breaking various games, which, from what I can tell, doesn't seem to be particularly difficult with a lot of recent titles. They tend to fall apart all by themselves.
Pretty much.
Really sad.
Indeed. He's also responsible for the famous video, I Broke Gary's Shitty Incident, which it is true in every possible way.
I gave that game a shot. I tried to finish it.
I'm surprised that you got that far. God, the first temple section alone was enough to make me want to hunt down the people responsible.
That's true.
Oh, man.
Oh my god, I forgot to download that frickin' Naked Girl card game. Shit, I promised and everything. Oh,
What?
man, I need to write
Naked Girl
myself a
card
note.
game?
TB, what were the mechanical bees?
Mulch. Apparently, we are getting mulch.
That's not bees at all.
No, it's not. They said we will install mulch. Oh my god. We will install mulch sometime this week. Apparently that sometime was scheduled to start at exactly 3 p.m. on the day of the podcast. So, it's just
Perfect.
beautiful. I
There's a fan.
apologize.
One of them is a fan. He was like, I know how to ruin everything.
I apologize to everybody that can hear it. I'm hoping not too many of you can, but it is quite loud, and I'm not sure how you could possibly not hear it. Yes, so there is that. Jesse, you hosted the show last week, and we're all still alive, so congratulations.
You're welcome. You're welcome, sir. It was an honor. I think I did fantastic, even though the internet's still like, gross. This isn't TV.
I don't know. Actually, I find whenever I'm not on the show, we get, like, the circle jerk comes out of the woodwork. They're always too scared to come out when I'm actually hosting the show. But they pop out, and it's like, I never liked him anyway. The show's much better without him. He talks over everybody.
That
should be
the
a
way it is with
band.
everyone, though. There's
Woodwork
always the
circle
people
jerk?
who, like, when I'm gone, there's always the people who are like, thank God. When Dodger's gone, there's always people like, thank God. I feel like one day we should just
The
replace
joke's like,
all of
well,
them.
I never noticed she wasn't there. Yes.
I feel like we should have one episode where we replace all of ourselves with different people, but keep the same names and see if anyone actually notices.
Just claim the cams are broken, put the GIFs back up again. They really loved that episode.
Entirely different people. And they'll be like, wow, Jesse's looking awesome today. And it's just like an attractive woman. I want that so badly.
I'll just replace myself with Nika. It'll be like the opposite of me.
Well, no one's going to get a word in edgeways if you do that, so be careful.
That's what I'm talking about.
It's like they're saying, when is Nika coming back on the podcast? Like, well, when I can get rid of the other two hosts that are just going to sit there for 3 hours unable to get a word in.
These guys.
Oh, God. Yes, that was an interesting show. That was the worst show we could have possibly brought Cheeb onto. We got about 4 words out of her maximum.
I know.
I felt sorry for her.
Poor
That was an
I was
error.
watching and I was like, I feel like Cheeb needs to come back.
Yeah, I think
Because she didn't talk at all. I was like, oh, you sweet baby. You sweet baby.
no one's getting a word in edgeways between the two of us. So yes, I think unfortunately we're going to have
Three
to
of you probably.
bring her back. Oh man, it's pretty bad. So Dodger, welcome to the show.
Hi.
What's
I'm
the matter with you?
I'm excited because I'm off my hiatus.
I thought you were about to say meds.
I'm excited because I'm off my medication. So today is going to be a great day. And yeah, we're working on cool stuff. So I'm in a really good mood today. So don't ruin it, you guys.
Oh, it'll happen.
Oh, are you releasing your new videos and whatnot today?
Not today, but this week, yeah, is the start of the new videos.
Exciting.
So you're still on break until videos come back. Don't pretend.
No, because I also started implementing my Twitch schedule, and I did my stream on Monday. I have a sub button and everything. Things are coming up, Dodger.
Excellent. Have you got a nice big webcam without a frame? Have you got scrolling, donate us, and everything? Please tell me you've done all those things.
Totally.
Fantastic.
And
I don't think she
wear-
knows what half of that means.
No, I don't.
Donation helps. Every donation helps.
Every donation does help. Yeah.
I have a shirt that shows, just like a little bit of boob.
Yep.
It's great.
Make sure to point out the donations are not
People
necessary, but
at-
make sure you have a daily donation goal.
Everybody, thanks for joining my stream. That's how I...
That is literally the most disappointing thing I've seen all week. Jesus.
My boobs? Thanks, TV. Glad I could be here for it. Just happened to be involved.
I'm getting angry messages from Sam right now. Oh, Jesus. That was funny on several levels and highly insulting. Brilliant. Welcome to the Core Show podcast. We occasionally talk about video games coming up in this show. We'll talk about the games we have been playing this week. And I'm going to talk about games I was playing like 2 weeks ago because I wasn't on for a show. Then we'll talk about the news, of which there is quite a bit. And some recent stuff that's going to be very interesting indeed. Because people are talking about early access and Steam front page and all manner of different things. So that'll be fun. I think we can avoid the... We can avoid the frame rate discussion. I don't think we need to go into that. I'm sure you heard about you heard that particular story where I believe it was the director of the forthcoming game Order 1886 claimed that 60 frames per second ruined the aesthetic, and they were going for a more filmic look. Yeah,
Oh.
I think that may very well be so stupid that it's not even worthy of discussion.
No, we talked about
shit.
their stream and the stuff they did last week and how really essentially their concept of next generation is kind of wonky because it just looks gray and brown. Next gen, gray and brown. That's the future, guys.
That's it.
Color be
Always.
damned, which is disappointing because I thought we were entering the era of blue and orange contrast, of which there was plenty of, loads of it.
That's so 2013. Oh,
We're in 2014.
Get with
We're
the
back to
program.
browns,
Come on.
guys. Browns and greens. Okay.
Good. I'm glad to see that. Now, it was lovely to see the usually colorful and vibrant and strange world of Dead Rising brought slap bang into the 21st century with its wonderful depiction of downtown LA and brown. It was good at both of those things.
what it's like.
I hope
Yeah,
Sunset
yeah, pretty
Overdrive
much.
is like full amazing specs because that game is going to be bright as fuck.
It is bright as
I'm
fuck,
really
yeah.
excited.
I've seen a bit of that. I mean, I don't hate it. I like a couple of the ideas behind it. Although I've got to say, all of the kind of parkour and rail grinding stuff seems to be a
I
really
hate that too.
It seems to be a really simplistic version of Jet Set Radio, and
Yeah.
even it looks and feels like it. I don't know. It's almost like they decided, you know what would make this game more extreme? Rail grinding and stuff like that for no reason. And this weapon shoots records because why? I mean, talk about
Because it's
impractical.
the
Come on.
post-apocalypse. You use what you got.
Yes.
Everybody else
There's
got
so
all the
many
bullets,
records.
TB.
Thousands and thousands of intact LPs just waiting to be fired. Right, okay.
Yeah, nobody's going to steal that shit.
Apparently not.
The
Except
hipsters
you.
will. The hipsters will.
You
And
and the
if anyone's
hipsters
gonna
are be
survive the
only
apocalypse, it's those sons of bitches.
ones. The hipsters?
It's a good thing I ate all this kale because that's what wards off zombieism. Screw you, hipsters. No one's got time for you. Get out of here.
Wait, I
okay.
gotta ask this. You're comparing hipsters to cockroaches?
Well, yeah, I mean,
Those-
if anything, yeah. They'll live through nuclear. Hipsters will be the hipsters and cockroaches will be the last things on planet Earth after the nuclear war. Oh yeah, and then they'll all talk to each other like, my cockroaches are so much cooler than they listen to music you've never even heard of before. It's true. It's gonna happen.
And I mean, if kale is the secret, that's great because it's always 99 cents at Ralph's. So
What the
just
fuck is
stock up now.
kale?
Kale
How have
is-
you lived in America this
vegetable.
long and not
What
been
the fuck
told
is
to get
kale?
It's
Have you
just
ne-
a really dark leafy green.
It's a
really
bitter
good for
leafy
you. It's
green.
got lots of
Yeah,
nutrients.
bitter leafy green. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's basically
Okay.
like a superfood. So literally everyone else, LA is like, put it in everything.
I'm just drinking my kale smoothie, and I've got my
Worst.
little chicken wrap. But
Whoa,
instead of a
worst.
tortilla wrap, I actually wrapped it up in kale. And then
Worst.
tomorrow I'm gonna take a kale bath, and it's gonna be so refreshing.
That's great. And then if I put it on my face and in my ears, then I'll live for another 26 years. Screw you. I hate you so much.
Ruby also
Is this the
hates
new
hipsters.
cilantro? Because like for about a year, the only word I could ever hear in any ad involving food was cilantro, fucking cilantro.
Oh, that was
over and over and over
Cilantro.
again.
That was Chipotle's fault because they put it in the rice. Like, would you like
Oh.
some cilantro lime rice? And so everything was cilantro. No, kale's just one of those things like, what are those damn berries that everyone was into?
Oh, acai
Goji
berries.
Yeah. And then like, oh my God, all the like super grains. It's getting ridiculous. America,
Yep.
we're just too damn hip for our own good. That's why no one likes us anymore.
We're too
We're
hip.
so hip.
Anymore?
That's where we went wrong, you guys. We're just
Yeah.
too cool. That's
Catch
why
up with us,
everybody
West of
hates
Earth.
us.
Get with the
God.
program.
So what you're saying is that Sunset Overdrive is responsible for all this, right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
Sunset
definitely.
Overdrive is
Sunset
going to be a
Overdrive
game
is the
about
America.
hipsters.
It's the America of video games. That's right.
Uh-huh.
In your
Too cool
face,
for its
too
own
colorful.
But they have rail grinding.
Too
Rail
cool.
grinding is still awesome. Come on.
See, I like rail grinding too.
I like
I
when it's
don't.
implemented well, but if you're gonna put it as sort of a side mechanic to shooting, you know it's gonna be simplistic as fuck.
Well, yeah.
So there's no focus on
the
it.
auto target is going to have to be just like crazy.
Yeah, it's gonna be like there won't be any balance aspects to it. There probably won't be. I mean, for what I've looked at on the thing, there doesn't seem to be any momentum. Like you don't gain a lot of momentum when you're doing it. So it seems like the whole thing would end up being fairly unsatisfactory. But
Yeah, that
maybe I'm
defeats the
wrong.
point. Defeats the point.
I will say it's creative. The fact that there's
It's colorful.
like 50 death animations is really like when you respawn. I think that's pretty genius.
Yeah, but eventually you'll see all of them, and then you'll be like, "Wow, this cost millions of dollars. What was the point?"
It's cute though.
Yes, it's cute. I get that. I hope that it's not. They didn't go into it saying, "You know what we should do? Just be as creative as possible for the sake of it." Because I do get that vibe from Sunset Overdrive a little bit, and I'm hoping that it's just. Maybe it's just what they're showing for the promotion, because they just want to show the really cool shit for the promotional material, and it's really just a really solid shooter. But
yeah,
we'll see.
I do really like the angle on it, though. The angle of, like, this person hated their life before the apocalypse, and now that the apocalypse is here, they love it. You know, so it, like, gives a whole different perspective and a whole different angle to be able to take it at aesthetically, and I like that. That's all.
That would just bring us back to hipsters.
Yeah, they're hipsters. I liked the apocalypse before it was cool. Okay. Yeah.
It's the America of video games. We can't wait to end the world. That's what we're all looking forward to. It's just ending the world for everybody.
We have to do it first. We have to do it first before
if
anybody else thinks
do
of it.
By God, it's going to be us. We will do it.
But that's a lot of blue and orange contrast. That's a shitload of blue and orange contrast. I'll tell you that for a fact. But it does look good. Like, it looks colorful. It looks fun. I'm hoping the weapon variety is there. Fuck, even the goddamn drink is blue and orange. His outfit's blue and orange. The enemy's kind of pink and orange.
Oh my God, Ruby.
The question that I have, even looking at the trailer for it, the way he moves and flows through, running on walls and stuff, if it can look that fun in the game when it actually releases, great. I don't know if it can look like that, though.
Well, I mean, looking at the transitions, they look really rough. At least at the moment, anyway. It looks like when you're trying to transfer from a rail to, say, sliding or whatever, or the wall running in particular looks really, really janky. And I don't know if that's really going to make a huge amount of difference, but it might. You want that feel. You want to make sure that you've got that feeling of momentum, and if your animation's off, that fucks that whole thing up. So
does it have a release quarter? Do we know?
I thought it was next year.
I thought it was out late in this year. Wasn't
Really?
Isn't it in the death month? Or maybe I'm wrong.
Overdrive.
I don't think it's out this year.
Maybe it got delayed.
It says release
Pretty
date's
positive.
2014 still.
Okay, so we'll see. I mean, they might... I don't know if they would target a new IP like this into the November death month. I think that's a really bad idea, because you end up putting it against what's probably going to be Battlefield Hardline, what's probably going to be the new Call of Duty, and whatever else they decide to come up with, whatever Ubisoft's big one is. Is Ubisoft targeting Far Cry for November?
Yeah. I mean, at E3, they're already scheduling, like, come play Far Cry 4. So, I mean,
Jeez.
like...
Yeah.
So they might be shooting for November. There's the new Assassin's Creed as well. Yeah, so I don't think they'll hit November. I think that would be actually suicidal. And don't get me wrong, the game looks good and it does look like... I wouldn't necessarily say a breath of fresh air. I mean, it is still shooting shit, but at least it's shooting shit in a colorful and entertaining way. I wouldn't put it up against those big titles and franchises. That seems like I wouldn't say a death sentence, but it definitely seems like a way not to sell many copies.
Looking at the factions and things like that, I feel like there's a lot of potential there for it to be like Saints Row 3 was, which is real silly and over the top and fun if you can do it with other people. But since no one knows anything about the franchise, no one knows where it's going to go. Like, it could just be silly and not like irreverent humor that's kind of like tongue-in-cheekish. I don't know. We'll see.
The factions almost give me a Bully vibe, honestly. The idea of these sort of various stereotypes of how kind of kids and nerds would act, and then take it into a full-on faction where they actually have power and influence. I like that idea. It's pretty cool.
We'll see.
I hope, it's kind of off topic, I really hope that in Far Cry 4, the big bad guy is Pink Suit Man. That's all I want.
Here's the thing. I know that's probably going to be the case. I want the hero to be Pink Suit Man. I think that'd be so much fun to play a giant
It's not going to be. They were very
no
clear
way.
about
Going to
that.
be.
Wouldn't that be great though? Because in Far Cry 3, let's be honest, you played a douchebag. I don't care what anyone says. You were an unlikable character. Like, oh man, all my douchey friends and I, we're trapped on an island. It's like, yeah, no, that's great. I love every moment of this.
They made it even worse with Blood Dragon, though. There you went over the top of being a douchebag.
Blood Dragon was amazing.
That was good, though.
I think you get away with it with Blood Dragon just because of how ridiculous it is.
Exactly. You went over the top of being a douchebag and just being hilarious.
Yeah. You became, dare I say, an American hipster. Because
No, they don't go over the top.
That's a game with color.
They're just douchebags.
Yeah. You know what colors that game liked? It liked red and green. Those are good, honest American.
Neon.
Fucking neon.
Good 80s neons going on.
Very
That's
much
awesome.
so. Yeah, Pink Suit Man is well, we're not going to call him the antagonist. I don't want to spoil Far Cry 3, but that might not be, I wouldn't call him the. He may be He's definitely not the hero, because there was the recent controversy claiming it was racist because he looked kind of white, and then he had
his hand like around a little Asian boy.
Well, yeah, it was either Asian or I can't remember which. I don't actually remember the cover. It was
minority.
It was that fucking forgettable. But and then there was apparently a grenade in his mouth or whatever, and so it's like, that's racist. Like, well, if he's a villain, he probably is. Yes.
Yeah, he's probably racist.
Also, apparently, he's not white at all. But not that would actually matter. It's amusing that Ubisoft kind of came out and said, "Oh, but he's not white," as if that would make it any less racist.
Also, let's be clear. Voss tortured that kid from McLovin for like 15 episodes on the internet. No one was like, "Is that a Hispanic gentleman torturing that white kid?" So just saying, chill out, internet, chill out.
Yeah. Yes, indeed. But what have we been playing this week? I can tell you for a fact it's not fucking Sunset Overdrive. So Banzai, why don't you tell us what you've been playing this week? What's been going on?
Mario Kart.
Yes, I did play some of it. I will admit.
Well done, Nintendo. Well done.
Did you play it online with other human beings?
Not yet. I've just basically.
I haven't played it online yet either.
Last night, I
only asked
all of the races in all.
I only asked because it's impossible. It's an impossible task. I
can't wait.
Look, Wii U. I hate your wireless. My Wii U's literally right next to my wireless modem.
Yeah.
And it's like, sorry, can't detect it. I could combine the two and it'd be like, doesn't exist. It's the worst. So I was like, fine, I'll just plug it in.
Having an Ethernet cable?
I'm like, fine, I'll just plug it in. There's nowhere to plug it in. I didn't realize that. I've owned a Wii U for months.
Hang on, Wii U doesn't have an Ethernet port?
It does not have an Ethernet port.
What? It does not.
It's just ridiculous.
I never knew that, and I own one.
Yeah, I never
Hold on,
realized.
You have to go out and buy a separate thing. And people are like, it's actually slower than the wireless. How is this even humanly possible?
No, really, how is that actually possible? That's insane.
Because it's like a USB connector. See, it doesn't exist.
It does not exist.
Well, there you go.
It doesn't make any sense.
I was furious. I will say, I love Mario Kart 8. I think it's great. But I will also say that I don't know if it's that console. Like, everyone's like, it's the reason why I'm buying the console. I don't.
Is it? I mean,
I don't think so. For me, I don't see that as the console buying game.
It's what pushed me into buying the console. I didn't have the console before it came out. It's what pushed me into it. But I always had that. There were so many games that I wanted to try, but they weren't enough. But that kind of like pushed me over the edge.
Yeah, it's a push you over the edge kind of thing. It's not the killer app. It's the kind of shove you into, and it's also got all this stuff. So this added on. And to be fair, the deal.
They're doing the like free digital
that
download
fucking
thing.
deal is sick. That's ridiculous. So you got a choice of 4. If you buy Mario Kart 8, I think it's before the end of June or July or whatever, you get one of 4 games. And they're good quality ones too. It's like Pikmin 3, Wii U Party, Legend of Zelda Wind Waker HD, and then some other thing.
That's only in the US though. In EU, they're completely different games.
Oh, are they? Okay.
Yeah. I know. The only reason I know this is because I know that Monster Hunter is one of them, and I was like, oh, people can digitally download Monster Hunter, but you can't here. It's not one of the games that's offered up for us. But yeah. Apparently, wait, I should look this up. Apparently, the Wii U sales went up like 600%.
600%. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
600% in the UK.
It went up Satan%.
It went up Satan%, exactly.
Oh, wow. So it would seem that, in Europe, the giveaway was way fucking better. Like, not only did it have all the same options, but they had like 6 more, which included Wonderful 101, which is a fucking brilliant game, and Monster Hunter 3 Ultimate. Game & Wario was in it, Sonic Lost World is in it, Mario and Sonic Sochi 2014 Olympic Winter Games. I think we can probably skip out on that one, but yeah, they actually had more. They had more choices in Europe than America got choices? 4. Yeah, 10 choices. So, which is pretty great. I mean, not that the choices were bad in the US either. You know, the games that they put up there are good. I mean, I'm getting Pikmin 3 personally because I somehow
that's what everybody I know is getting.
Japan still has a grudge with the US, definitely.
Yeah, but I'll definitely be getting Pikmin 3 with it, and I got my copy as well. And I think that if I was looking maybe into buying a Wii U and I didn't have enough to push me over the edge, this probably would have been enough to push me over the edge. Is it a killer app that I'm going to be playing for a long time?
No,
it doesn't.
It's not that much of a replay value. I mean, it's like, you're always going to have it. You're always going to be like a party game. Hey, let's go play 4-player Mario Kart, just like it was on the Nintendo 64 and the Wii, everything like that. But it's
yeah. I mean, I can't play it for like more than half an hour. I sat down and played it, and it's like, this is a good Mario Kart game, but it's also a Mario Kart game. So
that's exactly what I've been saying all week. It's fun, the music's great, it looks great, it plays great, but it's Mario. You know, it's the exact same thing you expect. There's nothing new here.
Yeah, it's the same thing I played 20 fucking years ago on the Super Nintendo. It's a bit shinier, they put some more stuff in there. I would maybe be more impressed by the transformation if games like previous hadn't already done that. So, I don't know, I've said it before, you know, they're very iterative, Nintendo are. But it's not like it's bad. It's actually really, really good. It runs at 60 frames per second. Even runs at 60 if you're in 2-player split screen, which is very impressive. Knocks down about 30 if you go 4, but the use of the pad is great. Obviously, I think if I recall correctly, I think I'm right on this, because I haven't convinced Jen to play with me yet. But if you have 2 players who use the pad, one player can use the pad and the other guy can have full screen, I think.
Huh. Yeah, you can.
Oh,
I think you can do that.
Yeah, I think
I read about that. I haven't tried it myself neither. No.
I do know that in the battle mode, whoever has the gamepad is able to see where the other players are. I think that's a little borked. Like that one person can be able to see where everybody
is. That doesn't seem reasonable.
Yeah, right? I was like, man, gamepad is always so OP. Like,
I've been told the battle mode is the worst component of it, because apparently they just gutted the whole thing. There are no special arenas or anything like that. It is basically just racing, and there's very little difference between the two. So
did they have it? Sorry, did they have it before where once you died, you could still exist as like a ghost and mess with people? I don't remember that.
I don't know about messing with people, but there was the ghost. Yeah, you could be the ghost and still drive a little bit, but I don't think you could like mess with people.
Yeah, you can do that in this one, or like
cool.
you can still attack people as a ghost.
That's fantastic.
Which I think is interesting. So if you like really don't want somebody to win, you can just like mow them down.
Nice.
That's such a dick move.
It's just they took the blue shell "fuck you, you're winning" concept and then turned it into something a little bit more interactive. I can dig that. I'm also glad the blue shell isn't in the fucking game. At least I haven't encountered it yet. If it is.
I was like,
what, the blue shell?
Yeah, I've yet to see the blue shell. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it's not there.
Wait, if you've yet to encounter the blue shell, that's because you've never been in the lead.
No, but I've never. I
was playing 150cc.
That means you're always in the lead, so that's why you never get it.
150cc is a fucking bitch. I'll give you that. I went down to 100 for a while. I mean, it's not like I've played much of Mario Kart. You know, I'll dip in and I'll dip out of Mario Kart over the generations of it, but it is really, really good for what it is. It is colorful. It moves well. It moves fast. It runs at, it's actually like 59 FPS, I think it runs at, which is, unless you are looking for it, is very difficult to notice the difference, you know. Apparently the blue shell is there. I've never encountered it yet.
God, yeah, I have yet to see anybody have it. I've yet to have it myself.
Yeah, I haven't.
It's that powerful. It's like a nuclear weapon. You gotta. So it's like a nuclear weapon.
Well, apparently it's more dodgeable now, so it's not like a guaranteed "fuck you" moment if you get in the lead.
It is guaranteed.
Is it?
I'm yes. Oh my god, it's so annoying. While I was trying to finish the 150cc levels, basically, always it's like almost at the end. Woo! I have like 100 meters to go, and then poof, blue shell. It twirls around on top of you, and then just explodes. You can't even use anything to dodge it. You can't use banana peels, you can't use any other type of shells.
Apparently, apparently you can use the horn item to block it, and apparently it's a really rare drop now. And the boombox count as the blue shell, and it seems like they've been balanced a bit better, which is good. But the track design's really, really nice. They do a good job of transitioning between underwater, between flight, and the anti-gravity. I like the customization of the carts, although it kind of drops you right in. It's like, customize your cart. It's like, I have no idea what I'm doing. This
I'm gonna
looks
choose
good.
everything that looks rainbow colored. Awesome. Let's play.
Yeah.
I actually finished both 50 and 100 until I noticed that you get different stats for each car and each item that you use.
Yeah, I didn't pay that much attention to that. I saw that it was there, but I didn't really pay attention. I was like, I just want to play Mario Kart. Like, I don't care enough, you know?
Yeah. It's a really good Mario Kart game.
Yes.
And with everything that entails, it being a Mario Kart game.
Yeah.
Which, we have been playing on and off for the last 20 years. And
It was super fun, though.
Yeah, the online mode outside of the problem that Jesse's had is apparently very solid and works really, really well.
That's what I've heard. I haven't tried it, like I said, but...
Yeah.
Maybe it's a Jesse problem.
I'm excited to try it.
Everyone I've talked to have
It's
said it is
Jesse
really
problem.
solid.
You will never find a gamer that likes to play on Wi-Fi. Nobody has a wireless PC gamer station. That's just, it doesn't make sense.
You plug it in.
You plug it in, exactly.
Yeah.
So having a console that doesn't have the option of an Ethernet cable, it's just...
I even get nervous when people play games with a wireless mouse. I'm like, what if it dies and you're in the middle of a game? Why would you do that?
Been there, done that. Yeah.
I used to do that back when I used to play StarCraft a lot. I actually used a wireless mouse.
I always had friends who would be playing StarCraft and then their mouse would die. I was like, you could have prevented this. Just get a shitty mouse with a wire and it would have been better.
Yep.
Well, I used to like the idea of the wireless mouse until I discovered the bungees that you can get for your mouse cord, and it's like, there is literally no point in using a wireless mouse anymore because it feels you'll never get a hitch when you use one of those things, and it's exactly the same. I mean, fuck, you can make one yourself out of a wire coat hanger if you like, or you can buy one for like $10. And the whole hitching problem that a wireless mouse is supposed to prevent is no longer there. So use a wired fucking mouse.
Yeah.
Not everyone has the option of a wired environment. I'd say it's fairly rare when you don't have the option of a wired environment, frankly. Yeah, it would be an odd setup where you wouldn't have that, especially considering everything fucking has a USB port in it these days. Your keyboards, your monitors, you can buy a USB hub if, your computer's too far away and all that kind of stuff. It's not particularly difficult. I certainly understand the idea of a wireless headset because you want to, wander around, listen to music, shit like that. Cool. I don't want to wander around with my mouse because I can't see the screen. So that kind of defeats the point of the exercise.
Yeah, man.
It's good though. There's no doubt. And if it's boosting sales of the console, that's good. I wouldn't want that console to die. I want there to be new games for it, but I really do not want it to be the case where the only people making games for it are fucking Nintendo, because they make the same games over and over
That's
again.
the thing that I keep saying.
That's the future, man. All it is Nintendo.
Because everybody keeps saying, oh, man, it's getting a lot of momentum right now. Like, what are they going to follow it up with? Is it going to be Smash Bros? Is it going to be Hyrule Warrior? Like, what's going to come next? And I'm like, I don't want it to be any of those things.
I want it to be something new.
I want Hyrule Warriors. God damn it.
I know, me too.
That's a man.
Shit out of that.
I'm so excited for that.
I'm so excited for Hyrule Warriors. Are you kidding me? It's going to be awesome.
I wonder if it's going to end up being a bunch of tie-ins. Like, can you convince a third party to come? It's going to come because most of them have already abandoned the console. Can you convince a third party to come back to the Wii U without dangling like Nintendo characters in front of them and saying, "Well, you can make a Dynasty Warriors game and you can use the Zelda property for it."
I think more and more what you're going to see is like companies letting them use characters in Nintendo games. That's what's end up like, oh yeah, no, you can use Sonic, and oh yeah, eventually it's going to be like, yes, you can use Nathan Drake, and I don't, it probably will never happen.
That's unlikely.
Yeah, but you know what I mean? Like, it's going to be like, yeah, no, use these characters, and that's why people will buy your game. But no one's going to spend the time and money. Everyone who was at E3 last year remembers Watch Dogs was the big Wii U seller. There was, the booth was set up. It was massive. It's like, this is what's going to change the game. I would love to play Watch Dogs on Wii U, but that's an impossibility right now because they don't have it. and they won't have it till August. And by then, who on Wii U is going to be like, oh, well, that's why I'm waiting for it.
Yeah, I'm just gonna wait. I'm just gonna wait till August, guys.
Can't run any worse
Nobody's
than all
gonna
the other
give a
fucking
shit about
versions
Watch
of the
Dogs
game.
anymore.
That's what I'm saying. Like, it's not even that great. So, it's, oh, God. Nintendo is so wonky right now.
Again, I was trying to point this out. Bayonetta 2, that's not made by Nintendo.
No, it's not. It's made by Platinum.
And that is, yeah, exactly. And that is a game that a lot of Wii U owners are excited for.
Yeah, I'm
because
buying that day
Bayonetta 1
one.
was awesome.
When is that coming
Yeah.
out?
It's supposed to
I
be
don't
this
know.
year.
It's, this year, but I don't know when.
Yeah, I mean, I'm all over
nothing-
Bayonetta 2. There's no doubt about that. But the problem is there's Bayonetta
One
2,
off.
and then there's X, whatever they're calling it right now, which is the guys who made Xenoblade, which are now part of Nintendo, who are making a futuristic kind of open world RPG, which I think is currently just called X. And then there's Fire Emblem Cross Shin Megami Tensei, and that's kind of it. So my hope is that Nintendo, if this is good enough for them and they start getting momentum again, is either they entreat companies to make more exclusives, which they already did, by saying, hey, we'll publish Bayonetta 2 and fund it and things like that, or they end up actually buying companies and putting them under the Nintendo roof, because there's just this unwillingness from them to actually develop original IP. Or they could just develop original IP. Because every time they've done that, it's outside of maybe Wii Music, it's worked out really, really well. Remember when Pikmin first came out and everyone was like, what the fuck is this? It's like, Pikmin's great.
Yeah, and now people love Pikmin.
Yeah, of course. So, it's not like they can't. They have the capability. But, But for the time being, Mario Kart's good, and I'm sure Smash Brothers will be good as well.
Yeah.
Bayonetta 2 is supposed to come out this summer, apparently.
This summer?
Yes. Fuck yes. Love that.
But still, wait, it's supposed to come out this summer, but there's no release date?
There's no release date. Yeah,
There's
I was
also
no-
getting nervous.
Yeah, that's very iffy. It's supposed to come this summer. I would have guessed that it would have a release date.
Yeah.
Or at least some hype behind it besides fans
Yeah.
who are like, I'm excited for it. Like, there isn't.
Exactly.
Well, it's not like Bayonetta was not an amazing seller. It's considered by most people that like the genre to be one of the best examples of the genre, by far. At least if you played the 360 version. The PS3 version actually ran like arse. But the 360 version ran really, really well. And yeah, there are plenty of people excited for it. And maybe even willing to buy a Wii U for it, if it's good enough. Assuming Platinum doesn't fuck it up. But then again, Platinum doesn't fuck things up. So, as long as Nintendo didn't get their claws in them, and everything should be absolutely fine. It should be alright. We'll see. I'm waiting for the inevitable Ace Attorney X Tekken game. That will be absolutely
Oh,
fantastic.
please. Yeah.
That would be brilliant.
I'd play that. I'd play that shit.
I would, no doubt.
Is it a fighting game or an attorney game?
No, I want it to be
Yeah.
an attorney game where
Yeah.
all of the
Exactly.
Tekken characters are suing each other.
Yeah, exactly.
Like part of
It's a
it.
giant class action
what I want.
lawsuit. It's
Yeah.
just
90% of the lawsuits would be against Yoshimitsu, I
yes,
guess.
probably.
It'd be good. But you,
I mean,
but
God,
you
it writes itself. They have a character called Law. For fuck's sake, it's perfect.
That's true.
so true.
Bayonet was crap. Okay, you get a temp ban for your idiocy. Fucking moron. Seriously, I will not accept anyone that says that. Like, you're objectively wrong. Fucking amazing game. One of the best examples of that genre by far.
TB's back, baby!
You can take
We
your
were
$5 and you can shove it up your ass, or you can spend it on a copy of Bayonetta and go and learn how wrong you are.
Yesterday
Problem solved.
we were timing people out for even talking about Game of Thrones. I was like, you better not spoil me, I swear to God. Just don't talk about it. Just don't even talk about it.
Don't spoil me.
I haven't seen the most recent episode because I promised I'd wait
started
until
on
Sam got
season-
back from San Fran. You haven't even watched any
I
of
have-
it?
No, I haven't started on season 4.
Oh God, I was
Yeah.
gonna say, Bonsai, what are you doing? What's happening?
No, it's just season 4. I've been finishing
I
school.
mean, there's only 3 episodes left, so you might as well wait.
No, there's gonna be something's gonna happen in the last episode. It's gonna be all over the internet, and right now I have.
Trust
the
me, you
opportunity
learn
to-
how to dodge it.
Don't go on Tumblr.
There's
Don't
a
go on
tech-
Twitter.
Yeah,
Just
there's a
ban
technique.
keywords.
Something will happen.
Yeah, you're Jesse.
Oh yeah. Well, something will
God.
happen. In the book, so.
Well, I've heard
Hello?
the people that have been reading the books have been getting surprised as well, because they've been fucking changing shit. That's what I hear.
Yeah, that's what my sister-in-law was saying.
They took out a few characters and changed the way things happen around. But overarching story is still the same.
Yeah. My sister-in-law did the exact same thing that you did, Jesse, and it infuriated me both times. She's like, something's gonna happen. I know what's gonna happen. I think it's definitely gonna happen.
I said at the end
That
of
was
last
exactly
season,
what he did.
I told everyone at the end of last season, I said, you thought last season was crazy. So much shit happens in season 4, it's gonna blow your mind. And there's only 2 episodes left, and I'm like, I can't wait. Oh yeah.
Oh man.
So I finished Wolfenstein.
Oh yeah.
Now.
Wolfenstein, whichever you prefer. So that was good. That was good.
Good game.
Ends well. Doesn't outstay
What?
its welcome. Well paced. There's Nazis in space.
I mean, that's a given. Obviously, that's where they're all hiding in space right now.
Just backflip in the sky. I'm so proud of you.
What the fuck?
She did a backflip in the sky.
My cat was like running back and forth in here. I'm assuming chasing a fly, and then jumped so high and did a backflip and landed and just acted like nothing happened. And I was like, "You did a backflip. You're so small."
Oh, I know. We heard.
I was just overwhelmed. I'm sorry. Keep going.
Anyway, Wolfenstein, yes.
Wolfenstein.
Yeah, it ended well. Maybe it could have ended with a bit more of a bang, I think. Obviously, I don't want to spoil that for anybody, but it was, it played well up until the very end. Boss fights were nicely put together, and Death's Head is a great character. Absolutely fantastic. All of the interactions kind of worked out really well. I think I'm glad that I picked the old Scottish guy over the other dude.
Really? Really?
Yeah, he's got amazing writing.
But you missed out on Jimi Hendrix. First off, when you pick Wyatt, Jimi Hendrix is one of the guys in your base, and you have an amazing scene where BJ and Jimi Hendrix have an argument over like basically race relations in the United States. He's like, "You were the Nazis, man," and then you get high with Jimi Hendrix. And it's mind-blowing. It's incredible.
Well, I mean, the game was designed to be played through twice, once on each alternate timeline, but I'm also trying to find the fucking Enigma codes. I thought I'd found a lot of them. I haven't unlocked a single thing with them yet. I am missing shitloads of them.
If you assassinate the commanders, you get, like, locations on your map, right? And I thought, oh, well, that's going to give me all of them. There's tons of stuff that you just need to find. It took one time. It took me 50 minutes to find everything in the area, and I was like, I'm never doing this again. I don't care that much.
Yeah.
And then when you found everything, you're missing one thing, and going back, not recording, I found out where it was. It's like in the middle of nowhere. There's no way you would ever find it unless you were looking.
Jesse, did you play this with a controller?
No.
You're using the weapon wheel way more than you should be. I'm sorry. I'm just criticizing your gameplay here.
No, that's because I like looking, because I forget. Because I have so many damn weapons, I forget which ones I have. And I'd like to know what weapons I have at the time rather than press 1, 4, 8. Because sometimes you don't get them when you start the mission. So I kind of forget.
Yeah, you just look at the weapon wheel once and then you'd use your hotkeys.
Yeah, but I'm a big dummy like that. So I'd like to know what I have. But so even in this episode where you're on the sub, which, by the way, if you want to watch it, it's filled with all semen jokes. That's the entire episode.
No one is surprised ever.
The entire thing, I'm searching the sub looking for, secrets, and the one secret in that level that I missed is much later towards the end in like this little nook and cranny way in this area that you never explore unless you were looking for it. And so I was like, I can't even be bothered anymore. It's that kind of pain in the ass.
It's kind of a shame because there's a few unlockable modes that require the Enigma codes, and I was maybe just hoping that they'd unlock at least one of them after you'd beaten the game once. And it's like, hey, yeah, here's a thing. No, you need those fucking secrets. And I don't, as far as I'm aware, maybe there's a cheat code to unlock that stuff, but I'll be honest, I don't want to fucking look for it. But I would like to try the game on a different mode, maybe. So it's a bit disappointing that seems like the only way that you can find the codes is to actually collect them.
Yeah.
And, it's a single-player game. I'm not going to play the same levels multiple times through just to try and get those codes. That's not going to happen. I'll probably just uninstall the game. Which is a shame, because, the game's really, really good. Fantastic FPS.
And by the way, that was amazing. That was a really great neck slice, by the way. Good job, Jesse.
Congratulations. You pressed mouse 3. Well done.
I felt real good about it.
I was like, what are you talking about? I don't know what a neck slice is. And then I realized just still watching gameplay.
Sorry,
makes more sense now.
I love. It's the worst part is I'm probably playing like. I love that the game allows you to play any way you want, and so you can run and gun.
Well, as long as it involves
crazy.
guns, yes.
But most of the time, people get mad at me because I just sneak up on dudes and murder them with a knife, and I'm like, that's twice as cool because I just slit guys' throats open. And I'm like, yeah, lazy ass Nazis. I'm like, yay, BJ. It's great. It's a wonderful game. So that's. It's fun. I'm glad they did their job. Hopefully, we'll get another one.
Yeah, it's really, really good. It's just a really good example of a single player FPS. It's the only game that I can think. Well, there's 2 games last year that I think were up to par with that: Shadow Warrior and Metro Last Light. And Wolfenstein's kind of this year's first single player FPS that's actually really, really good and stands well on its own 2 feet.
I think Wolfenstein at least keeps the theme and its story going relatively the same throughout the entirety of it. I feel like Samurai Warrior was like 2 different games.
Shadow Warrior.
Like if you I'm sorry, yeah, Shadow Warrior. If you played through,
Samurai Warrior is definitely a different game.
Yeah. No, Shadow Warrior. If you play through it all the way, it's like the first half is very like I'm a snarky hero and I'm a dick and my friend and I were assholes to everyone. And the last half of the game is the most serious thing you will ever play. Even the ending's like, holy shit! Like that's not what I signed up for. Like, what is going on here? It's really out of control. Which I mean, I was surprised, but I just think, it was 2 different writing teams. I have no clue. It was really weird. I was like, okay. It's sad. The ending's a sad ending. So that's
I still haven't played Wolfenstein at all. I need to.
It's good.
You'll love it.
Yep.
Yeah, it sounds like everybody's raving about it.
I'm just
It's
happy it
great.
exists. Yeah.
I just had it ready.
This is a world where we get 3 to 4 hour shitty campaigns with a bunch of hand holding, and this game does very little of that. You can there's some exposition going on. You can walk ahead of them and just ignore it. And it's like, I could open my own fucking doors because I'm BJ Blazkowicz, Nazi killer. I dual wield fucking shotguns. Pretty sure I can manage a door. Admittedly, they'd have a great narrative reason to not allow you to open the door because, like, well, I've got my fucking hands full. Look, I've got 2 guns. I can't open this door.
Question.
Yes.
I don't know if you guys have said this before already, but do you think people should use keyboard or controller?
Definitely.
Always keyboard. Always.
How would you?
Okay. Just curious.
I mean,
I don't think
the
people
port's
should
fine.
do anything. People should do what they want, of course, but I
Nope.
can't imagine it being.
Nope.
People will obey. People will do what I say. But no, I think I've never been able to use a controller. It's
No.
no.
Not in a first person.
Right?
Sure, absolutely not.
Sam refuses to use a keyboard. If he has an option to use a controller in any game, he will always use a controller. And I'm like,
Jesus.
I don't understand.
That's
should
always
get a
made for
don't get it.
platforming games and stuff. Games like that. Games that require.
Platformers, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, platformers. Sure.
Perfect.
There's some genres.
Totally use my controller, but any
Platformers,
shooters,
racing games.
I don't know how you shoot
Racing
things
games,
with a
of course.
controller. I don't understand.
With great difficulty and a shitload of auto aim is the answer to that.
Yeah. Exactly. It's the auto aim. People are used to the auto aim. I'm not kidding.
Which defeats
That's
the
what
point of the
people use
exercise,
for.
because you just... There's no challenge then, so... What's the point? But no, I mean,
Yeah.
the fact is that Wolfenstein's PC port is really good. It uses the id Tech 5 engine, which means it's got a couple of problems, like it doesn't work properly with SLI, and I think that it's locked to 60. Yeah, it is, which is a bit annoying, but otherwise it's a really good port, so you should be using keyboard and mouse 100% of the time.
Jesse, are you shaking your desk?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Your webcam is like
Any particular reason?
Not that you need to know.
masturbating.
Will you be done soon?
Just furiously. Look, I like Wolfenstein a lot. Just a lot.
They call him H.J. Blazkowicz.
La, 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 la.
Yeah, so Wolfenstein, pretty good. Pretty good.
So, did anyone play a lot of WildStar this week?
Not a fucking bit.
Not.
I played
Not
some.
in a second.
I didn't play as much as I wanted to. But,
Did you play more after we got done playing?
Barely.
Yeah, neither did I.
I played up to like level 10. JP is going hard. JP has rerolled like 4 times. He's like, apparently the dungeons are impossible. Like, so hard. And I'm really curious now. I'm like, oh, God, I want to get into the dungeon now.
You know what it is? And it's the same thing that happened in Guild Wars, and it's the same thing that happened in Elder Scrolls. People are so new and so bad at not knowing what they're doing that it seems impossible. But once you figure out, like, oh, this is how this works, and these are how this game is played, then it's ridiculously easy. And I know right now, because people are posting videos of, like, these are the baddies I'm playing with. And there's one there in a dungeon, and this guy, there's, like, a bunch of monsters coming at them. And you can see, like, the pathing of their attacks. And the healer is just standing still as all these paths come on the healer, and the healer's, like, just healing, and then it gets exploded. And they're all like, this is who I have to play with. No, that sounds about right. That sounds about right. So I don't think it's necessarily hard. I think everyone's just really inexperienced. I will say that when I played during our stream, you guys were doing pretty okay. The minute I got disconnected and lost my character, when I restarted my character from scratch, I managed to get caught up to all of you faster than originally.
Yeah.
Once you figure out what you're doing, it's not a hard game. It's just like WoW, except you have to move a little bit more. So if you played Guild Wars, it's WoW and then with Guild Wars things. It's not hard. It's actually kind of easy. And I was like, oh, this is simple. Just gotta get your mouse clicks down.
Right. Yeah, I think it's fun though. I want to play a lot more of it. I just haven't done it.
Time for that.
The one thing I will say, and I don't know if you felt this way too.
Huh.
It's strange that all of us playing, none of us gave a shit about the story. We just plowed through it. And the entire time we're asking questions that are like, wait a minute, if they're humans, why is their emperor a blood elf? That doesn't make, like, that's stupid. And then we didn't even bother to even ask these questions until someone was like, I think he's like, you know, half Eldar or some shit. And we're just like, whatever. And we're just plowing through it, not ignoring everything that's going on.
Yeah, I normally hate being in a game and not reading like everything that I'm supposed to be reading to find out, you know, why do I need to go and kill this many weird wolf dogs? Like, I don't know. I don't care. I've skipped through so many of those blurbs, more than I think I've ever skipped in a game. But I don't know if that's just because I was feeling very impatient at the time and was just like, I just want to play this dumb game. I don't want to read right now. I don't know.
It was kind
cute.
of like, all right.
It's a cute game.
I'm playing a little mouse, man. That's cute. He's fun. He's got little robot babies that follow him, but whatever.
Yep.
I have little robot babies. I have 3 robots that follow me around now, and they're wonderful.
I never ran into you in the game.
That pissed me off. We spent the entire time trying to get together, and it never happened, because you guys end up on some other stupid island.
I know. There are 2 different places you can possibly go. And it wasn't until I was in the ship that I looked at chat and everybody in chat was like, oh no, does she realize she's going to a different area than everybody else? And I was like, oh, come on. Come on, game. It's very sad.
Whatevs.
But I'm a robot lady who wants everyone to look at her boobs. And I think that that's really funny. Every time I look at her in profile, she's just like, she constantly stands like this. And it makes me laugh. So
I'm a little mouse man. Named Feifel Mouskowitz, and he's wonderful. And he don't
That's
give any
copyright
shit.
infringement. You're gonna get banned in terms of service for that. Guaranteed.
I think that's what they did to me, which is why I had to change my name.
Probably.
That or they felt that Mouskowitz was in fact just a reference to Auschwitz and that you were trying to be a neo-Nazi in space.
Here's the thing. That's why we picked the bad guys, and we're going around
the bad guys.
We're going around murdering everyone. So I'm just saying it's not that far off.
Yeah.
I'm watching Force play right now here on this video, and it's like, wow, he is fighting an Orgrimmar, quite fucking literally. Like, exact same color palette. I know it's designed to evoke the graphic style of WoW, which I'm totally fine with, but it just looks incredibly familiar aesthetically. And I'm not even the sort of person that says that a lot of the time. When people say, oh, Dawngate looks a lot like LoL, I'm like, no, it doesn't for this reason, but it's like, it's very hard to say that there is not a distinct influence.
Even the bone fences and things, when
Yeah.
watching
Oh,
it,
yeah, definitely.
it looks very much like it. Wow.
Which, to be fair, it's probably good. I mean, if they are, it's a lot of ex-WoW developers, they are trying to capture some of the WoW crowd. Absolutely put something in there that seems familiar. Why not?
It's a good idea. I think it's a good idea.
I feel like the look of it is a bit squishier, though. I feel a bit more like I'm in a game that was made by Nickelodeon, you know?
Well,
Isn't that just like the character design that does that, though? The fact that they have so many
That's what I mean, is like the avatars in WoW, even though they are very cartoony, they have kind of like a harsh look to them in a lot of ways.
Go check out the new avatars they're making for the
I have
new
seen
one.
some of those.
Some of those are pretty impressive. Yeah.
It looks more like the WildStar ones in that they're trying to go like, okay, we're gonna update it and make it that cartoony look.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, but even in those, like suddenly they have, really obvious musculature and stuff, and like that sort of stuff still gives it a really grounded kind of darkish feel, to me. But in WildStar, everybody looks squishy. Even my robot looks like you could hug her and she's actually made of fluffy shit.
yeah, like the stone people. The stone people, even they don't look like they're made of stone. They look like they're made of fluff.
Yeah. You could just be like, oh, you're actually a pillow. That's how WildStar feels to me.
WildStar, you're actually a pillow. 10 out of 10.
WildStar, you're actually a pillow. 10 out of 10.
It's the world's premier pillow simulator.
10 out of 10.
Go find my NPC. She's in there somewhere. She's a little fox girl. She's a
Can we
little
kill her?
orange fox girl.
She's
Probably.
a quest giver, I think.
Ah,
Yeah.
fuck. Probably
You can
not,
probably
though.
kill her. I don't know.
Ain't nobody
That's
got time for that.
disappointing.
You have to be the good guys, which is
You
Oh,
have to be
fuck
the good
that.
guys. You have to be exiled in order
Definitely
to
not
find
worth it then.
yeah, not at all.
So yeah, that's WildStar, I suppose. It's pillows. That's our conclusion.
It's pillows.
It's pillows.
WildStar's pillows.
It's pillows.
Indeed.
I played a game yesterday that everybody said was Totalbiscuit the game, but it's really only because it was like attempting to be as British as possible. The game is called Amputee.
I don't even fucking like tea. I don't know why people are associating that with me in any way. It's very
It's just
strange.
the British thing. It's just the British thing, dude.
Yeah.
What the hell do you do in amputee? Are you made of tea?
Amputee is basically Surgeon Simulator, and they like acknowledge that, but you have a robot arm, so you're an amputee with a robot arm, and with your robot arm you're trying to make tea, and there are different levels of difficulty for like what you need to add to the tea. I gave like 15 minutes, I think, is all I played, and I was like, I can't do this. I can't fucking do this. I was so angry.
Oh yeah, as soon as I loaded up YouTube to find footage for this, it's like, okay, I see a lot of rage faces pointing at me. The usual suspects are here. I can see what kind of game this is going to be. And this was off like a year ago. I assume this took a long time to get into Steam. Did it get
I
greenlit?
guess so. It might have gotten greenlit. Maybe that's what happened.
It was on Steam
Games
greenlight.
like
That's why it took so long.
games like that get greenlit because of YouTubers that play these kind of games.
Because
Yeah,
You know-
PewDiePie's video, 6.3 million views. Markiplier from a year ago,
Yeah.
500,000 views. Yogscast did it. So yeah, it's like, it's a YouTube rage game, in other words.
Fuck that game. That game is so aggravating. All
the
I
worst
had
part
to
is-
do. What?
No, I'm just gonna say now because of this one moment, all week I'm gonna get emails like Fan Friday, bro. Fan Friday, bro. You gotta play. I don't wanna play this game. I hate these games. God damn it.
Yep. Here's Simon and
Enjoy
Lewis
yourself,
trying to
Jesse.
pick up a cup. Mm-hmm. I like the art style. Looks a hell of a lot better than Surgeon Simulator does. Kind
I
of,
like the art style too.
yeah, graphic novel kind of look.
And it's unlike Surgeon Simulator in that if something like drops off the side of the screen, you can literally chase it down. I like accidentally tossed a tea bag across the room and it let me like walk over and chase down the tea bag like way over there in the kitchen.
Next gen.
And it's
Exactly.
so next gen,
Wow.
you guys. It's crazy. It's crazy.
I like games that allow me to feel in control, and games like this do not in any way. They are the exact opposite of that. It's
Opposite,
like,
yeah.
struggle with this deliberately obtuse interface. Mm-hmm. Like, no! I don't want to do that. That's not what I play games for.
Just use your other arm, dog. Why are
Yeah.
you only using your robot arm? Use your other arm. I don't
He
understand.
doesn't want to get his other arm wet.
What?
The hardest part of that fucking game is picking up the tea bag. use your other hand to pick up the teabag. You can do everything else with your robot arm. I don't give a shit. But I was so
Maybe he lost both arms and he only had money for one robot arm.
and use two.
What's the canon of this game? Come on, we need to make sure that this is lore consistent.
He's a very proud British man who lost one, maybe two arms.
Sir,
But you're not sure how many.
Sir Jonas P. Whifflebottom of
Jonas P. Whifflebottom
of the Hampshire Whifflebottoms.
Yes.
And he fought in the Great Third War, and he lost both
Just the
his
third
arms.
one? It's just like, not specifically like,
Third War.
there's number
Great
3.
Third War.
The third one.
And
lost both
unfortunately,
his arms.
he only got so much money that he was able to replace one arm, but not both.
Damn Tory government! They'll never pay him for the rest. then he lost his arms ripped off by a Morlock, and so he has to. They only gave him money for one arm, and he comes home and now he has to dip tea. He should be thankful. Some men got no arms when the Morlocks ripped their arms off.
This is
Only
really
because he was a wolf.
tragic story because tea is the one moment of the day when he feels an escape. And even that has been ripped from him.
Why can't he
moment
fucking
of
just get an IV?
peacefulness.
Like, you could just have it intravenous through a
An
port
IV
in
of
his
tea?
chest.
Tea? Oh, come on.
How
Why
much
am I
are you really
always so
getting out of
hot?
tea except for just conversation?
So I've got IVs on the brain. I'm full of fucking holes from yesterday. Like, stop stabbing me.
I don't mind needles, but like...
It's when they miss your vein the
something-
third time that it starts to
Yeah.
get annoying. It's like, can you just fucking get it? Oh, God.
This is my first day on the job. Oh, I'm so sorry.
Oh, so
I've had that,
I'm so...
I
made
graduated nursing school yesterday. It's like
I made
nope.
a trainee nurse very upset on the phone. It was kind of great, and it's the one opportunity I'll ever get in my life to do this. She explained at the start, she was very apologetic. She was taking a medical history. Now, they'd already had my medical history like 2 fucking times. So, like, great, I'm going to be on the phone for half an hour explaining my medical history. And it was like, the question of, like, cancer came up. It's like, so has anyone in your family had cancer? I'm like, yeah, me. And just there was silence on the line for 20 seconds. And shit, I better follow that up with something. It's like, oh, and my grandparents as well. And she just tries to pick up. Like an ass. I'm sorry.
She's like, what do I do? She's like putting her hand over the phone. It's like, what do I do?
It was maybe the worst thing I've done to a person in a long time. I'm sorry. I didn't mean it. It was just like, it was 20 minutes into this fucking medical history, and I was just tired of it.
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus. Yes, so there was that. We'll take a break. When we come back... This is going to get the show interesting, isn't it? Yeah, when we come back, we will talk a little bit about a few more games we've been playing, especially if any of you have played Murdered Soul Suspect yet. I'm not sure if you have, but...
I have not. I just downloaded it today.
I played 10 minutes of it, so I can't say shit about it yet. I got my copy 2 hours before the embargo, and it only unlocked at the embargo time. It's like, well,
Right.
guess who's not getting a video soon?
I've seen people's reviews, so it should
Yep.
be interesting.
Well, we'll talk about that after the break. You are watching the Co-Optional Podcast. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Co-Optional Podcast.
Hello.
Mayhem. It's mayhem over here.
What the hell are you doing?
She's
I'm
feeding
trying to
jerky
eat.
to her
I'm
cat?
trying to eat jerky in peace, and my cat is just like, oh, good. She's trying to eat my controller instead. Cool.
Ah, perfect. We hate controllers,
Jack
right?
Link's is a weak jerky brand.
I just found out that
That
Ralph
was the
has
only thing
bacon jerky.
available.
Bacon jerky! I didn't even know that was a thing!
Yeah.
I'm so excited.
There's a store
Moment this is
near
finished, you're gonna go and buy it.
the previous place I lived. There was a store where they sold alligator jerky alongside many other things, which is pretty good.
Sounds delicious.
I have been on a quest to try and find really good beef jerky. Kind of hard to find.
There's online sites now where you can order jerky from like the middle of Africa that has like zebra jerky and crazy shit. I was like, I might try that. I must eat all the world's animals.
Yeah, when I looked around trying to find the best jerky, the better the jerky is, the older and more backwards the site is. Because it's like, I made this site in Microsoft Word in a cabin in the middle of the backwoods. And it's like, mail order your check to here. I'm like, what the fuck year is this? I just want some good jerky,
Amazing.
damn it.
So during the break, we were talking about the net neutrality bill and stuff, and things that I guess it's not a bill; it's almost real now. But I was saying to Dodger that it's been making the rounds, but John Oliver's show that he does on
Last
Sunday
week tonight.
has a fantastic bit that's it's 13 minutes online. You can go look it up. I think every celebrity and their brother retweeted it too. But it's really good, and it's him going over basically how the government is run by like dudes who are former cable company people, and that's why we're all getting screwed. And the end of it, there's a 6-week or 6-month period where you can go on the FCC website and file complaints and
the public
comments.
consultation. Yeah.
And he literally like does a call to arms to all the internet trolls to be like, this is your moment. Go do it. And after that, and after it made the rounds, it became so popular. If you go there now, you can see the amount of comments that have happened and been written. But if you try to leave your own and you try to see what the comments are, you can't get to it. And people have been like looking into this. Turns out Time Warner and Comcast has literally been slowing down connection speeds to that section of the
bunch
site.
of fucks.
Yep. How ridiculous is that?
I was like, that's exactly
why
you shouldn't have this power.
Yes, because you just proved the case for net neutrality beyond the shadow of fucking doubt by doing that.
I tried just a minute ago. I can't get access to it. I can get to the page. I can see where everything's at. The minute I click it, it's like it will not let me through. There's no error code. There's no nothing. It just times out. It's insane. I was like, I hate them so much.
Right.
Oh, they're the worst.
Oh, I just discovered that there's actually a local cable and fiber company. Not so much of a startup. They've been around for a while, but they've been very limited as to which towns they can access. Coming here pretty soon. So I'm looking forward to that. Gonna be getting the fuck off Time Warner and never looking back. Absolutely fantastic.
I wish. There's nothing here. The only other option is to move from where I live to get access to Verizon, which is just as bad. Which is there's nothing.
Yep, absolutely.
Man.
It is a farce. There's no doubt about that. But if you do not know what net neutrality is, folks, the best thing you can probably do is watch that Last Week Tonight section, because not only is it funny, but it's also extremely informative, and it's really good for sharing around the place as well.
I'll tweet it out now so you can watch it at the end of the show after we're done.
Tweet it, sir.
I will make a little link for people.
Yes.
I'll find myself tinyurl.com and make a link for you here. All right, fantastic. This should do the job. So, if you head on over to tinyurl.com/John Oliver is not a twat, then you should find a link directly to the net neutrality video. That is John Oliver is not a twat. Mostly. Well, there you go. That show's great, which is why it'll be cancelled. Guaranteed.
I don't know. It's on HBO.
That's true. It's on HBO. It probably won't be. Thank fuck for that.
Yeah.
They can swear and talk about the death penalty in a comedy show. It's brilliant. Yeah, I consider doing a video about net neutrality, but like it's one of those things where you can't really say it any better than the people that have already said it.
That's how I feel too.
Yeah,
go for it.
Maybe I think the way to do it, especially as this public consultation thing keeps going, is just to keep talking about it and just remind people, yeah, this is a fucking thing. And, you know, the last time we had to deal with some bullshit like SOPA, it was possible to stop that from happening. You know, it will most likely come back. We'll just cut a head off the Hydra, but we'll keep cutting heads off the Hydra, and the Hydra won't have any fucking heads. Seems like a good way to deal with things.
In the episode, they have a graph that I think is perfect. He's talking about how the cable companies are like, no, it's not. We'd have a slow version and a fast version. We'd have a fast version and a faster version, right? And he's like, no,
you won't. No,
we'll never do that. And so it shows a graph of Netflix and how when Netflix was in talks with Comcast, it shows that the speeds drop drastically. And he's like, you see here when it goes back up, that's when they reached an agreement. Like, of course they're screwing with it. Like, that's what they do. That's how businesses are run. They're assholes. And but on that same graph, people in chat who are like, I never have a problem with Cox. The same graph shows Cox actually getting faster. So, Cox. We're growing on you.
Getting faster.
Cox. We are ballooning whenever we're near you.
Cox. Faster and less satisfying. Yeah, but seriously, there's no way. I mean, I'm sorry, you can't make the arguments like a fast lane is bullshit. Like, the speed limit exists. Like, your network is apparently not capable of going any faster, otherwise you'd have tried to offer us the faster internet for more money. You'd have already done that, yeah? That's like saying, here's the fast lane of the freeway. It's like, but that was the same speed as it was previously. Yeah, but in the other lane, you can only go 40. It's not fast. It's just slowing everything else down. You can't give them that kind of fucking power. They haven't proven that they're even close to deserving a shred of it. Come on.
And the big thing is that companies like Netflix or like YouTube, in order to stream so much, they'd have to pay more money to the cable providers to do so, which means so much money will be out there on the internet, like, in order to keep it going, that new startups will just not be able to happen.
Utterly fucked.
Yeah, that's the thing that I think is the most fucked up part of it.
Well, it's
honestly.
stifling competition. I mean, think about it. The internet providers are the same companies that are operating large, like, television channels. The conflict of interest is fucking real. Like, it's right there. So there's... You could not at any point trust any company on the planet with vested interests in both telecommunications and broadcast TV and content delivery to not fuck with someone else's shit if they're the competition. You can't trust them.
Absolutely.
At all.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Ridiculous.
Absolutely.
So that is our big fight, guys. Actually,
that's the
go
current
and
battle.
comment.
The fact that it's
Make
even
it
a
happen.
fucking
If you can get
battle
it to work,
indicates just how
go
fucked
comment.
up everything
Yeah,
is.
if you can
doesn't
get it to work. Here's the thing: on like iPads and iPhones, people are saying it works, and on the computer it doesn't. Yet they're in the exact same room. It's not like nonsense things are
Weirdness.
happening in order to.
Very strange, very strange.
That's strange.
Anyway, back to video games, which could very well be affected by net neutrality, by the way. So if you don't give a fuck about any of that other stuff, give a fuck about the fact that your games won't run as well. Simple as that. Yeah. When Valve decides not to pay and you decide you get 1 megabit downloads instead of the 50 megabit you're supposed to be getting, then I think you will give a shit. By which point it will be too late. But
Yep.
all right, back to video games. Anyone else played anything else this week that they would love to talk about? Apparently, none of us has talked. None of us has played Murdered. So
No. I got a copy, but
10 minutes
and
of it.
I fully intend to like let's play it eventually, probably after E3. But it's like one of those things where it's everything I've heard is the murder mystery is fantastic. In fact, the information that I got was like, if you do a let's play or you do videos, do not spoil the final hour until after like June 14th.
Oh, yeah,
So,
that's
like-
the same email I got with the one that said, so here's the embargo. We gave it to you 2 hours beforehand. The key doesn't unlock it till embargo. I'm like,
So apparently it's supposed to be a fantastic story, which I'm all about that. But I hear a lot of the gameplay mechanics and some of the elements are kind of wonky. And I was like, all right, well, I'm used to that. I'm a big fan of David Cage games, so that's not going to...
Yeah. Supposedly it is quite David Cage-esque in the way that it handles things.
Which is great for me, but I don't know. The reviews are all over the place. A lot of 3 stars, a lot of 4.5 stars. It's strange. I haven't seen Metacritic yet, but
Striking very
ever go
average
there,
at the
so,
moment, from what I can see.
Yeah.
I think it depends on what you're reviewing, because if the game has that great story and that great feel, as like you said, then basically the controls aren't going to matter that much. But
We'll see.
a lot of reviewers, they focus on controls and basically the fluidity of the game. When
That's 'cause they
not
play
really
2-3
the point of the game.
hours.
Yeah, exactly. That's not really the point of the game. You forget bad controls in that if you're immersed in the game. If you're immersed with what you're doing, then slightly iffy controls aren't going to matter that much.
True. The problem
Yeah,
is, if it gets too iffy, then it will kill your
Yeah,
immersion.
of course.
Because, like,
Yeah,
wow, I'm fighting the
exactly.
controls to try and get to the next bit of story.
Yeah,
That's
you
what.
know?
What the hell's the name? I already forgot the name of the game. Fungi zombies. And it's like, we're fungi zombies, and you're the girl,
Oh,
and you're
Last
the
of Us.
guy.
Last of Us.
Thank you.
Oh, that's...
I've already forgot it existed. Last of Us, everyone loved, and the reason why I couldn't fall in love with the game is because I hated the controls so much. I'm
Yeah.
sure the story was great, but I couldn't get over the controls.
Yeah, I was waiting. That's why the PS4 release I'm looking forward to, because it's 1080p 60. It's a better controller. Hopefully they'll have done a few things with that touchpad, just take some of the functions off the controller and use that for it. So I'm looking forward to playing that, because Last of Us is supposed to be great, but I couldn't get over the controls and the frame rate either. So hopefully that will let me do that. Be a reason to use my PS4 again. Keep coming back to that. Why should I turn my PS4 on? Still waiting for a reason.
I tried to turn yesterday. I was like, you know what? Or maybe it's 2 days ago. I was like, I'm not gonna watch Game of Thrones on TV. I'll just boot it up on my PS4 or Xbox One and get HBO Go, and we'll rock this thing. Next gen does not have HBO Go, and I was like, even less reason to use these things now. Let me break out my PS3. Like that, can't even. Oh, next gen, you are so lame right now.
Yup. there's a couple of indie games that are worth playing on those systems. It's like Super Time Force on Xbox One, and what else am I going to play on Xbox One? Not a fucking thing at the moment.
Titanfall.
You would play Titanfall on a PC. Come on.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah,
Sure.
I can't even. I played a game called Always Sometimes Monsters for Fan Friday, and I did not know what
Playing
this
that
game
on
was about.
Thursday. Yeah. How did you like it?
It's really fantastic, but it's also incredibly indie in that it's like the action is the
It's
story.
very slow. Yeah.
Yeah, but the more you play, the more you realize like every single choice you've made has changed the game in some fundamental way.
Yes. It's basically a choose your own adventure. When I played
It
it,
is.
I played the full like hour-long demo that they had at PAX a while ago. It was a long time ago. And it seemed like everything I'd done in there had caused something else to happen in the game. And while the game doesn't really seem to have any mechanics or anything like that, I dig you did this and changed something games.
Yeah.
I love that shit. So as strange as it will be, and I usually don't play games like that, I will be playing that one because it seems like there's a lot of fun to be had there.
One of the crazy things in it that I went back after I played it for Fan Friday and actually checked this part out. In the very first like 10 minutes of the game, you are at a party and you start off as this one dude and you talk to another person who then leads to another person, and it keeps going until finally you're the character who you play. And in my case, it's a guy who looked like Dr. House, so I had fun with that. I was like, oh, I'm using this guy. But you can choose not to. You can choose who that guy's wife is and like go through or girlfriend and go through the whole story. But I went back and played it again, and I made entirely different choices and ended up with an entirely different scenario to start the game. And that's even before the game actually started. And I was like,
Oh, yeah.
really? There's about a million different ways you can start this game and make this game your own story. And the minute you get to the point where it's like, you need $500 by the end of the day or you're going to be homeless, it's do you rob and cheat everyone to get $500, or do you become a good person? And I was like sort of halfway, where I would steal like little bits here and there. So I was a homeless guy who had money, which didn't help anybody. And I kept trying. There was this girl I met, and she was like, can you go get me drugs? And I stole her money, but then I got her drugs like a different way. And then she's like, oh, I feel so good. And she's like inviting me back to her apartment. I'm like, yeah, I'm going to bang this girl. No, she was so damn drugged up. Nothing happened. I was so mad. And then I ended up homeless anyway. I was
Consequences!
like, at least let me stay at your house, dum-dum. And she's like, I can't even get in my apartment. I'm so drugged up. Ugh. So
I would like to point out, when I talked about this game on this podcast a while back, everybody was like, that game sounds like hippy-dippy bullshit that only you would play. And now everybody's talking about how good it is.
Now, I would not have said that because I played that a year ago at PAX, and I didn't believe
You were gone.
that.
You
Oh,
were gone.
okay, so it was their fault. I knew it.
Yeah.
look, when Krendor's in charge, it's madness around here. I don't know what I say.
It's the
I don't know what
wild
I
fucking
say.
West, man.
Yeah,
You just-
I mean, you fend
just
for
gotta-
yourself.
Jesse
That's
just
things that I
drugged
don't
up to his
mean.
eyeballs, can't even get into his own apartment. It's terrible.
I know, it's bad.
Inviting people back to sleep with me, it's crazy.
Krendor, not even once.
But yeah, I'm saving that game. I'm gonna be streaming it on Thursday. I'm really excited because I've still only played the demo, and the demo was
fun.
fantastically put together. So I'm excited to actually play the game.
The thing is, I got an hour and 7 minutes or something into it. I don't even know. I didn't even crack like an eighth of the story. Because it keeps
Good.
flashing back and forth in time, so you're trying to figure out like, because at the beginning you're like, how the hell did I get to the point where either I pay this rent or because at the beginning it's like, I'm gonna be filthy rich, and then cut to you have no money, and so it's kind of like the decisions you make. How did you get there? And it's like, I don't know, because every decision I make, I feel like it's like knowing the future, and it's like if someone said you're gonna die on, this Thursday, and then it's like, well, how do I prevent that? You didn't say how. Do I leave the house? What if I stay home? If I stay home, is there an earthquake and the house collapses on me? If I leave the house, do I get hit by a car?
I love that
kind of
shit.
and that's what the game is. That's what the game is, and it's horrifying. And it was every decision I make, I was like, wait, is that the right one? Screw this. And I was like, I'm done.
Yeah, that's what a lot of the response has been, is like the choices are so natural to like real life that anybody who's playing could think your choice was awful, or they could make a choice and you would think it's awful. It's all so based on our perception of what right or wrong is, or how to live your life. And I like that. I think that that's interesting, and I like that they were able to put that into a game.
It's horrifying.
Yeah, but outside of that, the game basically has no mechanics of any sort. It's
none.
Pure choose your own adventure RPG, basically. No stats, no nothing like that.
Although they do have mini games. I took a job at a nightclub in order to sort of like make up to a friend because I skipped out on him earlier, but I also needed money. And people come into the nightclub and you have to make sure you know which coat is theirs. And so they each have tickets, but all the coats are green, so you have to remember which coat is which by number. And so you have to order them appropriately. But I managed to do it and got $90 in tips. So
Nice.
still didn't help me keep my damn apartment.
I'd have stolen all the coats and sold them. That's probably worth more than $90.
You can go through the coat's pockets, but the security guard in the front's like, if I see you going through pockets, I'm going to kick you out, man. And so I was like, yes, sir. And so it's like me in real life. I want to be a badass, but I was like, oh, just follow the rules. But the entire time I'm like, oh, I could rob this lady blind if I wanted to. I helped an old lady. I helped an old lady cook. I cleaned her apartment. I was like, I'm going to rob this old lady. And when I finally got down to robbing her, I took like $50. She had like hundreds, and I was like, yeah, but she needs it. She's old. She won't miss 50 though. I will never be a bad person. I want you.
Beta as fuck simulator 2014.
Yeah, in the demo I played, my scenario wound up with me like getting a job at a warehouse, and they were like, just take the boxes from the conveyor belt and put them in the truck. And I did that like 3 times, and then I was like, fuck this, can I just like walk away? I'm just gonna leave. And so I just left, and the dev was behind me, and he was like, you know, oddly enough, not many people choose to leave that fast. Like some people just keep putting boxes in that truck, like 100 boxes in the truck before they're like, is somebody gonna stop me? Like,
I love
like,
that.
there's nobody here. I could just leave, right? And just like grab, like they paid me up front. I'm just gonna go. But I know that would have eventually like changed a lot of stuff. And he even said, even in the demo, like a lot of things were different because I left that early, you know?
I wonder what the cutoff point is for that. Because obviously it's gonna have to be, how many boxes do you have to put in to get the good ending? Like it's got to be arbitrary, you know, it's a video game. There's got to be some arbitrary point where 1 box more would have made something good happen to you.
I think there's an event that happens. I think that people show up and like start causing trouble at the warehouse.
All right, that's a savvy way of doing it. You know, make it time-based, and it's like, all right, well, you have to be there for that. So instead of saying, well, if 49 boxes was not enough, but 50, that's bang on.
50 would be perfect.
Yes.
Yeah. No.
Okay, that's a good way of handling
like,
that. Smart.
Other characters show up, and you have to decide, like, oh, do I run away? Do I interact with them? Like, it leads into other branches, you know?
Cool. Yeah. Yeah, I'll play that.
So.
Sounds good.
Jesse, did you play Among the Sleep?
I started it. I'll probably end up playing more today. It's my kind of horror game. In that not every 5 minutes is there a jump scare. A lot of it is just, everyone's like, it's not scary at all, bro. I'm like, perfect. Perfect.
You're a baby. I mean, how scary could it have been, right? Unless they were going to just kill babies.
The bear's the scariest part. From what I played so far, the bear's like, let's go in this dark room together. It's like, nope. Nope, I don't trust you, bear.
My wife started playing it, and she was like, no, I'm not doing it. I'm just sitting there. It's like, I'm not going anywhere near that thing.
Go into this dark closet together. It's like, no. No. I do not trust you. You were just given to me 2 minutes ago, and now you want to get in a dark closet with me? Bear.
If there's anything I've learned from the internet, it's don't trust bears. So
don't trust bears, man. For real.
I think it's scary though, but that's because I'm one of those, like, I like to explore everything. And so I'm finding weird ass drawings like, this is me and this weird monster man. Like, why is there a monster man and why am I drawing him? Like, that scares me more than, like, you know, a room that's dark filled with hanging coats. And at the end, there's one coat that has like feet in it, but it's not real feet. It's like shoes. And it's like, oh, that should have jump scared you. Like, not really. Like, it was cool looking, and the question is, why does my mother have so many damn trench coats? That's she's a fan of the Matrix. I like it because
maybe they live in New York, and she wears a lot of dresses. She just needs that full coat, man.
Yeah, I like because you play as a baby, and when there are scares, they're not like jump scare. It's like, oh shit, that's a scare, and now 5 minutes of you being like, am I gonna get another one? I like that kind of thing. So.
Mm-hmm.
It's a really interesting perspective for a game. There's very few games that let you play from the perspective of an actual, like, toddler.
Yeah.
The one thing I do like that everyone else hates is everyone's like, it's only like 2 or 3 hours long. Effing stupid. That's the worst. To me, a horror game should be that long. Because once you cross over, every time I played a long horror game, by the time I get to 2 or 3 hours, I'm like, this is stupid.
You're done by that point, yeah.
Yeah, like I've experienced the horror. Now I have to get through your shitty story. And
Yeah.
they're never that good. And so I'm okay with it. I'm fine with it. It's like a horror movie. You're paying for 2 hours of scary stuff. This one you're involved in.
How much is it? Is it a $10 game, $15 game?
It's like $19.99 or something like that.
Which
is why
okay, I
people are
can maybe
freaking out.
see why some people are a bit peeved about that then. I mean, personally, I don't care, but I can definitely see why some people would say, ugh, that's not good. Is there any replayability, do you think, or is it one playthrough you're done?
I don't think so. I'm convinced once you play it once and see all the scares, then you've seen all the scares. Because I don't think it's...
Right.
Yeah, because there's a lot of things in the bit that I need to edit and put up today. There's a lot of things that it's just, I went the wrong way. Whoops, horrifying. But if, like, I'm going the right way, then you're fine.
Yeah.
Like that
$20 for 3 hours of 3 hours of horror, that's a pretty
way
hard
too
sell.
much.
Yeah, pretty hard sell. That's the kind of thing that I would say wait for a sale on, you know?
Yeah.
For most
I would
people.
agree. I would say Steam sell that thing and it will sell a bunch. So
Yeah. Oh, well. There's that. I'm playing more Tropico 5. Love that.
How's that?
Well, I finally got to the modern era on it, and I did my first video, and you were only allowed to show the first 2 eras if you did a first impressions, otherwise you had to wait till the press embargo. Eventually got to the modern era. Game runs like shit. That's a bit of a problem with it. Holy crap. Like, when was the last Tropico game that ran properly? I can't remember.
I was going to say, has Tropico ever run properly?
No! Like, maybe the original did, like Tropico 1, but 3, when it came out, ran like shit. 4 ran like shit. 5 doesn't run well either. Especially when you get like over 2,000 people on your island. That stuff starts chugging, I tell you. Thankfully, it's, frame rate's not so important there, but it feels really bad, especially when you're scrolling around, it's just jerking all over the place. That's not great. But the problem with that game is that it kind of comes apart at the end. Because for those who don't know, this version of Tropico has eras in it, yeah? So the other Tropico games, it was just you played in one kind of time period. You might get technology, but it was one time period. Here you start in the colonial era where basically the British Empire owns your ass. You then have to rebel from the British Empire. You then get involved in the World Wars. You got to decide if you want to support Axis or Allies, and you can do missions for them, and you can trade with them and things like that, which is pretty cool. Then it's the Cold War, so it's basically the same shit, but with US and USSR, nuclear threat and things like that. And then you hit modern times. And that's where the game loses all semblance of steam and direction. Because during all those other periods, you've got a clear kind of set objective, and there's a genuine danger that if you go too far one way, you're going to piss off someone really powerful. So the USSR fucking hates you, they destabilize your country, they invade your shit, they embargo all your trade goods and shit like that. The problem is, in the modern era, there's like 10 different nations you can trade with. So you can piss off all of these other nations, and you can still trade with, like, the EU and shit, so you don't even care. So you're still making money hand over fist. And there's so many ways of making money in the modern era, and everything's so convenient. You can fit loads of families in a modern apartment, which has a tiny little footprint on the screen, instead of these huge tenement buildings that get worse over time and have all sorts of maintenance problems. So it's like modern era gets really, really easy. That's the main problem I've got with it. And I think I want to play another island, and I want to maybe set it up on hard, because I think that seems like the way to go. Because really, like, getting up to modern era was not difficult, and if you get to modern era without any problems, you'd basically just make infinite money at that point. So it defeats the point of city building, It's not like the city building aspect is complex enough to support anything else. It's not a Sim City. Tropico's always been a bit more casual than that, but yeah, it's a shame. It just sort of runs out of steam at the end, which sucks. But I'll probably play the rest of the campaign, because that's pretty good. They put you on a different island for every mission in that, so you don't have to worry about the whole, I've built an island and it's completely self-sufficient. Oh shit, better move on to the next one. That's the way to go. And then they can keep providing you with challenges and stories, so I mean, it's okay, but there's going to be a shitload of DLC for it, because that's what that company does. And it doesn't run very well, so they need to patch that. So you probably want to wait for the expansion, all the DLC and the gold edition, and for them to patch it, I don't see really a need to buy it right now at full price.
When does it come out?
It's already out.
It's out.
Oh, it's out?
It's been out for a week or more, actually. It was on early access for a while, too,
Yeah,
which is really weird for a game as big as Tropico that they put it on early
Maybe
access.
that's why I'm confused. I thought it was
Yeah.
still in early access.
Yeah, it's out of early access now. It came out on the 22nd, I believe, or something along those lines. But it's got multiplayer, supposedly, but I can't see how that would actually work very well. Like, the combat in that game is pointless. It's... You build army units. If you get invaded, they go fight for you. That's it. You don't really have any control over how things go. So it's okay. I like the era system. I think there's a good game somewhere inside there. It needs polishing up. It needs a bit more content, and it needs the modern era to be brought up to the level of the other eras. But the campaign's pretty good, so that's all right. There's really been anything else, honestly. Done with Transistor, finished that. Good ending, like that a lot. I like the fact that I like the fact the whole game's vague, actually. I think it was definitely more vague than Bastion was. Yeah, yeah. Bastion was. Yeah, that was very expository. Is that really a word? Probably expository. You know, it was all about the exposition. It's like, I'm going to tell you exactly what happened with a gruff voice. It's going to be great. And Transistor's like, well, some of this is open to interpretation, and I like that. And I think that the world was so well presented that I can kind of get over maybe the one or two minor plot holes that were sifting around in there.
Yeah, I like Transistor a little bit more than Bastion, actually. Even though I did really love Bastion, I think Transistor made it. I think they took the right move. Yeah, the controls are way better.
Yeah, Bastion didn't control well on PC. Like, you had to really use a controller to play super well in that game, I felt. So that was a factor. But the fact that this is more of a sort of action RPG with hotkeys, and it has the planning mode, means that keyboard and mouse seems like the way to go. Which works fine. I might do another playthrough on recursive mode. There's apparently some of the enemies, if you like the combat, some of the enemies in the recursive mode and the combinations they throw at you are insane. Ridiculous. They have all sorts of abilities. You don't meet the full level of all the enemies in the first playthrough, because everything goes up to level 4, and really only a couple of the enemies like hit level 3 by the end of the first playthrough. So I am interested to see how insane it can get, especially with all of the limiters put on. But it's a really good game. Absolutely fine, lovely, gorgeous game. Soundtrack's awesome too. But listen,
Still haven't played it.
Oh yeah.
How the fuck have you
Jesse.
not played it? Did you play Bastion, Jesse?
I did. I still haven't played Transistor. I don't know.
I think
just
you'd like
haven't-
Transistor.
If you like Bastion, I think even though it's not really it's the same game, but it's still it has that.
There's a feel.
Has
There's
that,
a
yeah,
feel
it
that's
has that
similar.
feel. There's a special something about it. It's like TB said.
I just like
soundtrack.
Red. I think she's nice. She's pretty. So that's why.
Yeah.
And she's got a sword, so that's pretty great.
It's also true.
So, but I haven't played it yet, and I don't know why. It's not because I don't want to. It's just that every time I'm like, yeah, no, I'll sit down to play it. Something else happens. Something else comes up.
It's
Oh,
good
well.
shit. No doubt about that.
Can't play everything.
Right?
No,
So sad.
that is true.
Somebody said, sorry, this is going back to Wildstar. Somebody said that the story mission in Wildstar starts at level 35 and goes through endgame. So up to 35, it's just kind of like, here's the world you're in, here's the people, and then once you hit 35, there's like actual story, and that's what everybody keeps raving about. And I'm like, man, 35, that's gonna take me forever. I'm so slow in MMOs.
Yeah. It took us all night to get to like level 8. We were like, yeah, we did it.
Although I was the only person who wasn't disconnected multiple times too.
Yeah, no, yeah, good for you.
No, I'm just saying, like, that was one of the reasons. You know, when you had like a stable connection, you caught up real quick. But
That's because I'm what we like to call a professional MMO player.
Oh yes.
Let's
go on.
Spent 10 years of my life doing it.
The
and
acronym for that is neckbeard, by the way.
I'll never get those 10 years back, so I might as well use it for something.
Aw.
Thanks. Wow, you're the best.
Yep.
Indeed.
Yep.
So it's gonna overshadow everything, which sucks.
It will, at least for a very long time at any rate.
Yeah.
What is the name of that naked girl card game? Do you remember the name of that?
Are we back to that
remember
shit?
The one where you have to masturbate your
Yeah, the one where
Vita?
you masturbate their bodies and then you open up card
that?
decks. There's Monster
Monster
Monpiece. Monster Monpiece.
Monpiece. Last week a game came out during the releases, and we were like, "What the hell is this?" So we looked it up, and it's a Japanese card game for Vita, of course. That part of the gameplay
Here,
is
TB,
the cards.
I'm linking a picture
I'm
that'll help
not
you
sure
understand.
I
Unlock
want
that.
this.
You can unlock the girls' naked photos by just jerking off your Vita, and so
What
there's
in the
images of
actual
girls going like,
fuck?
There's images of girls just like going like this to the Vita. It's so funny. It is mind blowing.
So I said that I was gonna download it on my Vita, and then I totally forgot to. I need to do that though, so I can give a full.
Can I tell you something?
Huh?
Tell you something?
Yeah.
Do you want 1 billion views? Make a video of you just unlocking those cards. I'm not joking.
Like,
give it
I'm
to
gonna
me.
play Monster One Piece,
I'm telling you.
and that's all the video will be.
And then like struggle with it. Like I can't get it to work. Million views. You'll make so much money. You can just disappear from the internet for a year, and people be like, just still watching it. Look, that's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
No, you're thinking about my best interest. I understand.
1 million views, I would do that. But it's not how it works. The internet don't work like that. So I'm giving this to you. I'm giving it to you.
Really?
Monster Monpiece.
It's just so Japanese. It's so Japanese.
See, TB has the exact same expression I had at the end when I was just like, "This is horrifying."
Yeah, and there are a bunch of cards. There are a bunch of cards that aren't coming to the U.S. because they're basically just like,
sexy.
Yeah, they're just. Do you want to see my vagina? And I guess America was not okay with that.
I don't.
It's the Vita, baby. That's what the Vita's for.
That's what that back touchpad is for. For card masturbation.
Fucking Japan.
That's I cannot believe the mechanic is you masturbate your Vita. Like that can't be good for the system, right? Like you're probably damaging something by furiously beating off your Vita.
Because I mean it doesn't get used anyway, right? Like almost no games use that back touchpad. So
and after this, none ever will again.
Yeah, unless you're playing Touch My Katamari all day, like there's no reason.
I don't know. That's
Touch My Katamari uses the back touchpad.
I bet it does.
Okay.
Touch.
That's good.
Can you whisper into your microphone and say "Touch My Katamari" again?
Touch My Katamari.
Thank you.
No,
That's up here now. That's up here.
Oh,
now.
okay. I'm glad.
Fucking hell.
No. That's what the Vita is. That's all the Vita is. It's like, what's the craziest thing Japan
Vita
can make?
is dead.
We'll
It is
throw it
dead
on the
now.
Vita.
There's no doubt about it. There's no coming back from this.
It's true.
Jesus Christ.
Danganronpa 2. Get it here quick. We'll need it.
All right, let's move on to the news, I think, unless we have anything else that we've been playing, which nothing springs to mind, frankly. Nope, cool, excellent. All right, yes, so the news.
Everyone's been tweeting me right now that, guys, did you know that Tron Worlds launched their own digital release platform called Glyph?
Oh, we're all so shocked. No one else does that. No one else has been trying to do that thing.
No,
so.
not at all. That's
a gravy train everyone's on now.
They're not even the first MMO company to do that, so that's not particularly new. I mean, don't get me wrong, I understand why they would. It's like, if you can get a bit more of the piece of the pie than you would be otherwise given to Steam, then why the fuck wouldn't you do it? Especially if you're already serving the downloads for Rift and everything anyway, why wouldn't you?
Right.
But that isn't news anymore.
Yeah.
Not at all. New Mortal Kombat was announced, of course, giving a trailer which showed absolutely fucking nothing.
Yep.
It did
So
show
the same
off
thing as always.
Wiz Khalifa's
Wiz
fat rapping
Khalifa?
skills.
Yeah.
Woo!
You know what's even more? I get that they would go with rap. I understand it. I think it's clever. Even Wiz Khalifa, I get he's popular. But the song they chose did not fit any of the action of what was happening on the screen. And it was a horrible combination. And even as someone with the most basic editing skills, even I know that was a poorly put together trailer. And I was just like, you guys,
I don't understand.
anything would have been better. Anything would have been
Mortal
better.
Kombat has always been represented by the hard rock and metal music community.
Yes.
And they just threw it away. They just threw it away for Wiz Khalifa. It's not worth
That's not
it.
been the demographic as of late. As of
I
late,
guess not.
That's the demographic that has been going and buying those games.
Fighting
let's
games?
be
Oh,
clear.
yeah, totally. I mean,
Yeah.
the grassroots fighting game community is a lot of inner city kids, you know?
Yeah,
True.
exactly.
But let's be clear though. Of those inner city kids, 99% of them will tell you right now, Wiz Khalifa is the weakest shit.
yeah, sure.
Wiz Khalifa ain't even got raps, bro. I'm telling you, as a man who listens to the rap music, many people are like,
The rap
no, he's-
music.
To the rap
I'm
music.
fairly sure you don't if you call it the rap.
Look, I'm old.
Now,
old, I can
let's me
say
tell you about the rap.
rap music.
I know
I'll let
many
you
of the
know.
raps. I like at least
I'll let
7
you
of them.
know, many people are like, this is his new release sucks. Like everyone's on his ass. It's like when Kanye released like I'm riding a bike with Kim, like that kind of shit. We're just pointless. And that's what
Remember
people are
that
saying
video?
about this
It
thing.
was probably the title that ruined it for him. It's like, there's no flow to I'm riding a bike with Kim. It's just an awful release in general. You could have called it
Damn.
something else.
No, but so the entire like I think and even I don't know. I don't like the fact that they picked a song. I get why they did it because the song's very like I'm a champion and these are my skills.
Well, Street
I'm
Fighter's been
going-
doing it for fucking ever. You know, pretty much I think it was all the Third Strike soundtrack who had a lot of that shit. And that's cool. But I do agree it doesn't fit with Mortal Kombat's vibe. And I don't
Doesn't
think it's
fit
got to
with
be
Mortal
like...
Kombat. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Street Fighter, sure, whatever. But Mortal Kombat is so much like, I don't want to say
Darker
darker.
Yeah, darker.
Yeah, darker.
More
Even the
level,
fighting that was
psychological
going
stuff.
on, if they wanted to be edgy with the fighting that was going on, they should have done something like straight up like really weird classical music, like a classical piece that was like it would have because the fighting that's going on, it would have blown minds. Like, oh, what is even happening? Instead, they picked what was reasonably a safe bet, but a bad song,
Yeah.
and that's. You can't ever make up for that, and that's the thing. People are, at least I guess, people are talking about Mortal Kombat for the first time in ever. But still,
True.
you know,
Which is
People
good.
have still talked about it with
How long has it been since the last Mortal
classical
Kombat
music. Ooh, long time.
what was it? DC Mortal Kombat way back when? Was that the last one?
What is wrong with you?
No.
You forgot Mortal Kombat 9? Like
Yeah.
that huge release
don't-
that sold millions of copies? That one?
I don't.
The one that was
know.
universally acclaimed by fucking
I don't
everybody?
remember- I don't
That
remember
one?
Which came first? I don't remember which one came first.
That's still
I'm
10
sorry.
years ago, though. Right?
Yeah,
That's a while ago.
2011, so it was
Yeah.
3 years, yeah.
Yeah.
I enjoyed that.
It was great. It was a fantastic
it was
game.
good. Yeah.
When did
Absolutely
Mortal
fantastic.
Kombat DC Universe come
I like-
out?
That was like 2008 or something. That was a
Yeah,
long
that
time.
it
we
was a
don't
while
talk
ago.
about that
Leave
one.
me alone.
We don't
You
talk
leave
No
me
one shot
alone.
it by a mile.
Indeed.
2008, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
More fucking MK9 was fantastic. I like it more than Injustice, significantly more than Injustice, actually.
Yeah, it was great.
It's awesome. It still runs fine on PC. There's still people playing it on PC. I believe it's on sale right now, actually. I think it might be with it. I know Injustice is on sale this week. I'm not sure if MK is as well.
Justice is always on sale.
Yeah, MK is on sale as well.
Really?
Until Friday. $5. Fucking $5. It's worth it for the story mode for $5. I'm telling you that for
yeah.
a fact. You can never play a single match online, you'd still be happy with the story for $5. It's fantastic. Or you could buy that stupid anime Naruto game, which runs at 30 frames per second and pretends to be a fighting game. I'd suggest that you don't.
Oh, that game's fun. It's like a fucking Budokai ripoff. It's so good. I love it.
I'm about to fight chat because chat's questioning my rap knowledge. You should see my phone. I like all except for country. Not a fan of country, but I like all music.
Aw,
Oh,
come
you love
on.
those.
Absolutely the
The
rap.
country music.
He's awful. Don't get it twisted, internet. I'm an OG.
Don't get it twisted, y'all. You so ratchet.
out.
You don't even
Old
know.
G, aka old
Straight out
guy.
Columbus, Ohio, rep. Don't get salty with it. Damn.
Stop. Just stop.
Jaded haters.
Things that were racist this week. Far Cry 4, co-optional podcast.
Yeah. Only those two things, though.
Yeah,
The
no.
rest of the world is doing really well. We're just really behind on the times.
Okay, yes, so there was that. MK10, I'm looking forward to it. I look forward to all new fighting games. Hopefully it'll come to PC. Hopefully the PC version will be good. You know, the last few they've done have been pretty good. Shaky in places, but pretty good. So, yeah, I'm happy with that. It's good to see fighting games finally coming to PC. It's like, oh, we suddenly realized you can plug a fight stick into a USB port. That is amazing new information.
Nonsense.
Actually, as well as that, Street Fighter 4 Arcade just, I believe, relaunched without games for Windows Live. It now uses Steamworks. and Ultra Edition will also be using Steamworks. Pretty much everything is jumping off Games for Windows Live right now.
Oh yeah, that's
good.
because it's shitty.
Yes, it's fucking
Games for
terrible.
Windows Live is so awful.
Yeah. I think that Microsoft have basically said they've canned it. That means that a lot of companies have said, hey, you know what might allow us to sell more than 7 copies of our game? Getting off of Games for Windows Live. Because not only that, it gives them this wonderful opportunity to relaunch the game and say, Steamworks now! And people are like, yeah, money! And that seems to work pretty well. So I'm looking forward to seeing more games running properly, because god damn it. I played Arcade Edition, and actually the original Street Fighter 4 is what I played the most of on Games for Windows Live. Holy fuck. Like, if it would log in, it was nice. Like, that was a good day if it logged into Games for Windows Live, and then the fucking lag and the bullshit matchmaking associated with it. Jesus. Yeah, Games for Windows Live is dead and closing and going away. As, of course, is, as we found out quite recently,
Origin?
GameSpy. No, Origin's fine. Sorry. GameSpy.
You wish.
It could have been, Jesse.
Yep. GameSpy is imploding, and a lot of games are fixing their servers so that they will actually run off some other stuff. But once... is it already gone, actually? Is it... I know it was closing down. Is it gone completely now?
I think it's gone.
I think... Yeah.
Pretty sure.
I think it is. Yeah. A lot of EA games went under with that, actually. A lot of it, like 50 of them. So...
Very sad. It's very fucking sad.
Yes. But Unreal Tournament just announced that, Unreal Tournament 3 anyway, which is maybe not the best advertisement for the next Unreal Tournament, but that now runs without GameSpy. Stalker, like anyone ever played Stalker on fucking online, but regardless, that's been patched, so that will use its own master server now. There's a lot of them that are being fixed up. It's, May the 31st, so it was actually 3 days ago that GameSpy shut down, but... Halo, I believe, the original Halo Combat Evolved has also switched off GameSpy, and I don't know if Halo 2 ran on it, but it's not like anyone played that on PC anyway.
True.
Yep. So, well, good riddance to that fucking thing.
Yeah, I'm okay with that.
Yep. I tried to play the original Borderlands with GameSpy, and it was a fucking nightmare. And then Borderlands 2 with Steamworks worked perfectly, so I think I'll stick to what works. Thank you very much. GameSpy was... I remember GameSpy when it was a client a long time ago. It was a program you downloaded, and it was a matchmaking program. It created virtual lobbies, and it joined you together in the game. I had GameSpy to play Alien vs. Predator, the original. And... hell, at that time, it was the only way you could fucking do it without knowing someone's IP address, so it was essential. But then it started just to become a multiplayer backend, and it got integrated into a...
bastardized version of itself.
It did indeed. Yes, it was a fucking mess. But yeah, that's gone. That is gone.
Sick.
Yeah, I don't think anyone's going to be too upset by that. It's pretty good that it's disappeared. Nothing to really complain about.
Oh my god, the dogs are losing their fucking minds.
That's what you get for living in Hollywood. Everyone's crazy there.
I'm moving. Look, I'm moving in like a month. So
you should come live back near me. I know you won't, but you should. I'm just saying.
I'm moving back to the Culver-ish area.
Look, all I'm saying is it'd be nice to see you more than once in, every year now. Just saying. Just saying.
I understand. I am very likable,
delayed
so.
till 2015.
Good.
Yeah. I like delays. I love delays. I think delays are fucking brilliant. Delays usually mean better games. And frankly, I'm in no rush to get to Arkham Knight. So whatever.
Plus, the hype they have for that game, making it look good, I hope it looks as good as they want it to be.
Oh, it won't.
So take your time. Oh, of course it won't. But take your time. Make it the best you can. I'm okay with that. We don't need 50 Arkham games.
I know that it makes sense for them to do this, but I'm disappointed that they're making it so that you can't mow people over in your Batmobile. You just stun them because you can't.
Which makes no fucking
Batman.
sense, because they just did the battle mode trailer, like either today or yesterday, that came out, and it's like, here's the new Batmobile. 50 fucking guns. It's like, there's a Vulcan cannon on this motherfucker, and you won't let me run people over? But you put a Vulcan cannon?
Some of your foes are squishy human people, and some of your foes are robot drones. And so
okay,
you,
so it's
you
okay to use a
destroy the
Vulcan cannon
drones
on them.
but the people you like knock out.
It's like there's
Right?
an
You can't just like run them
MRLS
over, which I think is stupid.
on the top of the car, and he's worried about non-lethal takedowns.
That's just how Batman works. I mean, you can let
doesn't
it get
kill
to you
people.
or not.
Yeah,
exactly.
doesn't
You
kill
let-
people, doesn't use guns, except all the times when he does. It's like
Yeah. You can let it get to you, or you can just like, whatever. That's just how Batman
suspend
is.
that disbelief. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, that guy clearly didn't die when he threw him off the 20-story fucking roof. That was non-lethal, guys, because I didn't use bullets.
Landed in a garbage can.
Yeah,
Landed
of
in a
course,
garbage
yeah.
can filled with hay.
Yeah, and then it's just a slow pan down to that, and he's just like, he's got a few bruises and like a comic like giant bump on his head, like, oh, that Batman.
That's the favorite part of all Batman movies is when something violent happens, they always pan to the guy afterwards, just so you know he's okay.
Waking up,
Yeah.
yeah. Being
He's like, oh no,
happened?"
Batman got me. Just so you're aware. Meanwhile, everyone else in the movie or TV show can kill anybody, which usually happens. But Batman's like, I just don't do that. I don't do that shit.
That's why Arrow was a really great TV show because
Arrow's
you know
fucking great.
you see him start off as being just like stone cold, and then you watch him develop into the great Arrow that we all love and know.
Still kills a lot of people with arrows, though. It's
I know that's what I'm saying. You watch him like
he
develop.
gives no fucks. It's brilliant.
Has to
I
give
think
no
he probably
fucks.
learned. I think he probably learned that arrows hurt people. And if you're the Green Arrow, you might have to shoot a few.
Yeah,
So-
pretty much.
I mean,
Pretty
you
much.
know.
I think you guys are imagining this development in the opposite way.
Yep,
Happens on the
absolutely.
show. I'm not gonna hurt anybody. Ah, fuck it, I'll just kill him. That's not what happens, guys.
That's what I want. That's what I want. A guy who spends an entire first season shooting people in like the arms and the shoulders, and eventually he's like, "This isn't doing anything.
This is not
They're just
efficient.
getting mad at me.
This isn't efficient at all. It's just,
I'm just
using
wasting
too many fucking
every
arrows.
day. Have to craft 50 more.
This
'cause
shit's
it's just
expensive.
Yeah, what the fuck?
One shot. That's what I want. I want that. That'd be a great series.
I love Arrow.
That'd be-
Arrow's brilliant
That would be a
series.
very good series.
All right, it's
Yeah.
great show.
We should point out, by the way, just kind of back to the Batman thing for a minute before we take a break, and then we talk about something which I'd love to talk about. We will see how that goes. This will be fun. But we should point out that a delay doesn't necessarily mean the game's going to be a lot better, as we demonstrated with Watch Dogs aptly, where the game got worse. So, delays don't necessarily mean a better game, but I never get upset when I see a delay. I'm just like, okay, fine, you need more time, great. Wasn't it Miyamoto's quote that said, you know, a bad game's bad forever, which is not really true anymore, but back in the day it was. But a delayed game will eventually come out, and hopefully will be good. So, yeah, good, cool, whatever. Fine. There's plenty of other games you can be playing in the meantime, so don't worry about
Yeah,
that.
so don't rush anything out. I mean,
No. There's no need. And you see what happens when things are rushed out on a year-by-year basis.
yeah.
So,
Yeah, man. Boo.
Yeah,
Boo.
Gets old.
it does.
It's old and bad, guys.
Very much so. Such as Battlefield, Cops.
Oh
Which is-
God.
That was
heard
an
good
interesting
things
twist
about
for the
it.
series.
You always hear good things about something related to Battlefield. People are always like, "Oh yeah, it's gonna be great."
They just
that
patched
guy.
the game
I
today
love
to not be fucking
Battlefield.
terrible, I've been told. Like, they've actually upped the tick rate to something resembling a modern FPS game.
Yep.
Resembling, admittedly. But I don't know, I might play it now that they've patched that. We'll see.
I don't know, man. After they patched it, it's slightly better, but it's
Is it
still,
slightly better?
It's slightly, like I said, slightly. I'd still play
all I
Battlefield 3 over Battlefield 4.
Yes, yeah, I think so. I mean,
Because-
I gave up on it the last time that I fell through the fucking world and was swimming in the invisible water under the level. And I was like, I have better things to do with my time. Yeah.
I'm not even joking when I say that I'm very excited for EA's press conference on Monday. I want to know.
I'm
what-
excited because it's time for me to do some more edits. That's gonna be good.
I want to see what kind of great things are coming down the pipeline at EA.
Oh, yeah.
Count me in.
You're all over that.
It's sarcasm.
We need to ban people for linking Control-Alt-Delete in the comment section. I think that should be a new rule. Actually, it's a new law. Let's make it a fucking law. It's a new law.
Hobgoblin law?
Can't post cat
A
comic
new Hobgoblin law.
in the chat anymore. Anyway, let's take a quick break, and when we come back, we'll talk about early access, Rust, and things that Gary said.
Goodness.
You're watching the Co-Optional Podcast. Don't go anywhere. Well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Co-Optional Podcast for the final hour or so. I'll just be the first to say, by the way, just because no one's mentioned this yet, holy shit, Reading Rainbow is doing very well on Kickstarter right now. $3.5 million! How fucking cool is that?
That's awesome. That's just nothing but awesome.
Absolutely brilliant. Like, that's really, really good. I'm so happy that that's doing well. It's one of the few things that you can say is not just a, hey, yeah, so we want to make something for nostalgia's sake. It's, hey, yeah, this actually might be kind of needed right now, so...
Does anyone remember, this is my favorite episode of TV, by the way, does anyone remember the Reading Rainbow Star Trek crossover where LeVar Burton goes on the set and you get behind the scenes? When I was a kid, that was the shit. I was like, what? That's how it all works? It blew my mind. There was a person who held the door open when it opened.
Oh, yeah.
And there's just like pulleys. I was like,
Oh, yeah.
I didn't even know that's how that worked. So that was, yes, Reading
shit's
Rainbow
awesome.
was my shit.
Yep, glad to see that. $3.5 million so far.
Yeah, the Omori Kickstarter is still going too. It has 48 hours left. You should go check it out because that game's gonna be cool.
You just want that game so bad.
I do! I'm so excited for that game!
Selfish.
You're trying to overshadow Reading Rainbow? Come on.
I mean,
How dare you?
Come on.
there's no way
Come
to
on.
overshadow that much money. Come on.
No. Good.
I mean, I didn't even grow up with it, and I still know how much of a big deal it is.
Yeah, I mean, it barely made it to the UK for the most part, but I still know what it is, so...
Everybody.
Back in the day, PBS, yo. Low and
Oh,
not.
PBS was so great. Way back.
Way back when.
Now it's terrible.
You don't get to
Well,
learn how to make cute little trees anymore or anything.
Oh man, yeah, all the cool PBS people are dead now, most of them.
Right? What the fuck?
That's sad. That's sad. Although he still lives on an internet forum. If you ever want to go learn how to make happy little trees and little clouds.
There's a remix of him that's like so cute on their YouTube. Oh, I love it.
I could watch that, man. I would come home from school and fall asleep to watching it. I probably should have been doing homework. I'd turn him on and just be like, because he's so
My brother
Kickstart a
legit.
revival.
Yeah.
A literal revival. Like, we'll bring him back from the dead.
Okay,
Can't
cool.
cost that
Sounds
much,
good.
right? Let's go.
Look,
Let's
if the
do
dark
that.
arts were ever going to be used for anything, that's what it should be used. Bob Ross zombie. Bring him back.
Bring Bob Ross back. Bring Bob Ross back.
Is that our chant? It's like a guy's like, Otiko Damatosho. He's like, "Rah," and he just starts painting.
Yeah.
He's like, happy little tree. It's like his jaw falls off. This is great. This is fantastic. Everyone would be like, this is the best thing on TV.
To be fair, it probably would be right now. Can't argue with that.
Yep.
Oh, wouldn't never say no to a Bob Ross zombie.
So what's
Right.
our big news thing right now?
Well,
So you
it's
were
an
very
interesting.
excited.
The discussion has kind of flared up again lately, and it's been a combination of a few different things. The weird thing about the discussion is that it's mostly a gigantic straw man argument. At least the other side of it is. So, a few videos have popped out over the last week or so that have brought this back into focus, and one of those was a video about a game called Air Control. And that game... Did
we talk about this?
Air Control... Well, I certainly didn't when I was there, tell you that for a fact. Maybe we looked at it on the Steam release list and said, what the fuck is this? But Air Control is irredeemably fucking broken in every way. It is, it's another kind of Guys of the Wolf situation, where it's a weird-ass indie dev that's put together some completely broken game, is basically trying to censor all of the bad stuff that's been posted on the forums.
God damn it.
Everyone that's reviewed the game well is on the dev Steam friends list. So it's that thing again. You know, this is
Are
happening
these
every now and
important
again.
devs? Because I hear that game is great.
No. It would have been one of those videos that have probably got me yet another copyright strike, but that I've been too busy to deal with them lately, so I guess that's
Too busy for you and your bullshit.
Yep, it's you know, you're getting a different perspective on life. So you know what? I'd rather play something that isn't fucking wank. But in the case of Air Control, Jim Sterling, a frequent guest on this show, does not shy away from the wank. That I can tell you for a fact.
Never.
It's true.
I mean,
Jim
one might even
Sterling
say
loves the wank.
Loves
he does.
the wank.
I mean, you could even say he is a wanker, you know. Wank everywhere.
If there's one man who loves wank.
Yep, he will wank
Sterling.
anywhere. He will wank for
Anytime.
anyone, to anything,
Anything. Man.
anytime, any
Very
place.
good at it.
Yep.
Very good at it. Man works cheap.
Yeah, indeed he does. So, and he wouldn't even say no to any of that. But he shredded
Like,
it.
Go on. Yes.
Yeah, one of his
right.
most popular videos, like, he absolutely shredded it. He's also a member of Polaris, by the way, if you didn't know, and he works for The Escapist. He's the review editor for that. Absolutely shredded the game. And this brought back into focus the, because his video is called Steam Has Officially Shit Itself, which I certainly would not disagree with. The example that was made, and oh wow, he actually made another video on that. He's a brave man. But he continued to talk about it and say, look, you know, it's ridiculous that this is even on Steam in the first place. The game is still on Steam. It hasn't been removed from sale. Refunds are not being offered. Basically, it's a similar situation to Earth Year 2066, which actually did get removed from Steam in a very, very rare circumstance. Steam barely ever does this. And then another video came out a couple of days ago by Campster, who is also a member of Polaris. You know, there's one thing that ties all this together. I think I recruited every single one of these people to the network. I have recruited a gigantic circular argument. It's brilliant. But, so Campster did a short video, and he was talking about curation as an idea and why we shouldn't want Steam to be curated, and that it's really up to reviewers to make, and critics to be the taste makers and to be the trendsetters and make sure that the good games get out there. And the thing continues to kind of roll on, and on May the 30th, a couple of days ago, Gary Newman, the dev of Rust, and of course Gary's Mod, did an interview or an article. Yeah, it's more of an interview that he did over with MCV, which is the UK-based trade magazine that gets sent out to all the game stores out there. And he said basically that limiting the number of Steam releases would be insane, and that Steam is not something that developers should rely on for promotion. It's merely a distribution platform. And he's basically not in favor, really, of curation of any sort. He says, I don't think the Steam front page should be seen as a storefront, which is an odd thing to say. If your game is good and people want to play it, people will play it. Work at making your game as accessible as possible. And so on and so forth. Now, this debate continues to go on, yeah? And I think the current attitude, at least from the kind of opposition to those who want something done about the state of Steam right now, is that the whole thing's just this kind of giant straw man argument where what they're saying is, oh, well, people are saying that, like, you should stop games from getting on Steam and that there should, you know, you should have some, like, set of standards, like it should only be good games that get on Steam and shit like that, which everyone knows is impossible. There's always going to be some stinkers that make their way through.
Yeah.
And the debate is kind of being framed as people being crazy and unreasonable and wanting to censor Steam. It's like, no, that's not what people want. What they want is a storefront that can actually be useful, that actually has games that weren't released in 2001 on it, under new releases, and just has a basic level of quality control. Like, something with a bunch of stolen assets that is unplayably shit, like Air Control, should not be on Steam. Because it's broken. It doesn't work. And there's plenty of games that do fall under that category and do fall under that sort of issue. And what Gary's saying is a bit weird. Like, basically what he's saying is if you build it, they will come. It's like, work on making your game as accessible as possible. How exactly? Like, if you release a game today on Steam, let's say you released a game today. Let's say you released it this morning, for instance. You want to know how many other games came out today? Well, so far, there have been 3 other games that came out today alone. Yeah? 2 of these are pretty old. Yesterday, there were a couple that came out. Before that, I think on May the 30th, there were about 5 games. Oh, that's listed twice. That's wonderful. 6 games, 7 games, 8 games, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 games, 14, 15, 16, 17 games came out on May the 30th on Steam. So if you released on May the 30th, you're fucked, son. You ain't getting anywhere. And half of those games were old. If you released on May the 29th, prepare your anus. Putt-Putt's coming for you. There were like 5 Putt-Putt the adventure car games that came out on May the 29th. Yeah? And Freddy Fish 4, The Case of the Hogfish Rustlers at Briny Gulch. So I suppose prepare your Briny Gulch, because Freddy Fish is coming. How the fuck do you make your games more accessible on Steam? You have no way of doing that. Like, you have to roll the dice and hope against hope that some random publisher has decided that today is not the day to dump 20 old games on the front page. That's what you have to do. Jesse, go.
No, I was going to say, I think the reaction is slightly hypocritical because it's, I have a very successful game in Rust, and so I don't need to worry about that problem. So I don't know why anyone else should have to worry about that problem either. Like, it's a biased attitude, which admittedly I think I know I'm a little like that too when it comes to like YouTube, and I'm like, stuff? I don't take donations. Well, that's because I don't need to, but it's kind of an asshole thing for me to say. But it's the same thing here. It's this guy is saying, oh, well, I don't, it should just be a platform for releasing stuff because I personally never had to worry about it. Meanwhile, there are many other people that are like, no, that's the only way that my game will be successful. You're screwing me out of this. Yeah. And so it's all biased information.
I think it's all well and good to say that Steam should not be, you shouldn't rely on Steam for promotion when your game sat on the front page of top sellers for months. Right. Like, actively giving you promotion for free. And it's a snowball. Because it keeps selling more because it's there, and it's and it keeps self-perpetuating. It's rich get richer on that one.
Right, and even when I log in now, the first thing I see, there might be an option to change this, but when I log in, the first thing I see is top sellers.
Yeah, they changed it to top sellers, not new releases. That was Valve's solution to the new release problem, not default to it. Like, what? That's not a solution.
Yeah.
So, and that's the same thing that happens with even on YouTube, for example, like the people who are popular get more popular. It's how it works.
Because they hit the front page all the time. They hit the trending lists. That is the way that things go. Should it be? Fuck no. No. Discoverability is I think discoverability is less of a problem on YouTube. I mean, if Valve wants to look at discoverability, they need to only look at YouTube. But related videos, you can go on YouTube and you can find shit. You can stumble across it all the time. It's quite easy.
But if YouTube went discoverability, what would happen is, since there's so many people, just like on Steam, there's so many people to discover that you might get a flash in the pan, sort of like, oh yeah, no, here's all these new people, and it's like a little overwhelming for someone visiting YouTube. So it's rock and hard place kind of situation. Like, there's got to be a way to find. Here's the answer: you just need to hire people and make them have their job be it. And not be lazy as shit. Like, that's what it comes down to. People are like, we could just create an algorithm and have one person in an office do this. No. If you really want to make it work, you have to pay people to, like, let's go through this game, find out what's worth everyone's time, find out what's not, and let's play through this, and which they'll never do, which is what they need to do.
But, I mean, I don't even think they have to go that far. Like, whether a game is worth your time, I think, is very subjective, and one man's garbage is another man's. There's probably one person that genuinely enjoyed Guise of the Wolf. I mean,
yeah, of course.
I'd suggest that he maybe needs to check himself into an institution, but those people do exist. The thing is, we're not talking about games that are bad. We're talking about games that are fundamentally fucking broken or are misrepresented in the marketing. Like, they're just mismarketed completely, and they lie. They lie. It's as simple as that. That is what I want policed, and I also want games that are from 2001 not to be on the fucking new release page. Let's go to the Steam front page right now. Let's see what we find. You know what the newest release game is, guys? It's called Bus Driver. It came out in 2007.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
Yep. I wonder what else is there. I'm sure we can find one. Dark Raid, I think that's new. That is actually new. So that's cool, I suppose.
I want to play. I'm going to open mine up too.
Yeah, play the game. Let's go. Legends of Persia, that's actually new. That's cool. 8-Bit Commando, I believe, is new. FX Football. That is actually,
is
by
new.
the looks of it, new too. Yeah, so we're doing okay so far. Admittedly, if we went back 2 days ago, things would come apart.
Guys, I'm a big fan of international snooker. That's my
That your jam?
name. They call me the international snooker. I don't know what that means. That's what they call me.
Oh yeah.
It apparently has to do with pool, billiards.
Yep. If
I
you
get
go
my
2
balls in the
pages
hole.
back, that's where you find shit going really weird.
Quite possibly the most realistic snooker game to come to any gaming platform.
I like how you're calling it snooker. It's like, it's snooker, damn it! It's snooker, there's 2 fucking O's!
I've
Snooker!
never.
Snooker.
What does
Snooker!
snooker mean?
Snooker.
You don't know, the Americans don't know what snooker is. What is
No. It's called pool. We play it.
No, it's not called pool.
Yeah,
Pool's
I was
fucking
gonna say, is
casual snooker.
the same as pool?
No,
'Cause
it's the
that's
casual
what it looks
version.
like
It's
to
the
me.
dumbed down version of snooker.
It's the fun version
Snooker.
of snooker, basically.
Wait, snooker
Nobody
is
goes to
also
a bar,
verb.
has a beer, and goes like, "Oh, I want to play some
Wait a minute.
snooker."
That's because there isn't a snooker table there, guarantee.
Exactly. And why
sounds
do you
cheaper.
think that is?
It's because no one remembers which fucking order the colors go into the holes after 3 pints. It's like, is the black one now, right? No, Dave, it's not.
Exactly. But you
just
were
for the
talking about
record.
this. Yeah.
Oh, sorry. I was gonna say snooker it can also be used as a verb to place someone in a difficult situation
Yeah,
or
you
to
snooker
thwart
them.
and defeat them. Yeah.
Snooker them.
Wait,
But actually, we're talking
thwart and
about
defeat?
back
I'm using that for.
games going to Steam.
I shall snooker you.
Yes, let's get back to the Steam thing, as Banzai was pointing out.
We're on
Also,
Steam.
I noticed the fact that we have the forest being available.
Oh, yeah, it's early access.
Yes. Again, we talked about early access before. This is not a game that should be out. I mean, it has potential. I've tried the game. It has potential to be fun, but it's so early on in development, at least from the looks of it. It should not be available as early access on Steam. Not yet.
I also just feel like games like this, if you played them early enough in early access, by the time it actually got released, you'd be
fucking
like
ruined
over
it for yourself.
Yeah, you're like
Yeah.
super over it.
Well, I don't. The forest screams of like, guys on the internet, we could use your help getting money so we can complete our game.
Yep.
I mean, that's what.
Well, actually, I mean, I'm
That's-
going to be honest. What I've seen so far from the forest is actually very impressive. Like, I've seen some pretty cool AI elements, like where the guy was like fighting because the combat's kind of slow in it. He was swinging with an axe against his 2 cannibals, and one gets killed, the other one, to turn tail, runs and just jumps up and climbs up a tree.
Yeah.
And I thought that was kind of impressive. Like, animations-wise, it looks pretty good.
The
But
game itself, it has potential, like I said, but it's gonna like people are gonna shy away from it.
it's probably
Releasing
never
it
going to be
as-
finished
Yeah.
either. You know,
gonna be-
when's DayZ going to be done?
What was that game that basically got released pre-release and then they didn't even finish it? They just dropped the.
There's been a few of them.
Minecraft.
Oh.
Minecraft.
No.
No, it was a whole thing the other day. I can't remember the
Towns, was it Towns?
name. Yeah. Something
Cube
like that.
World's kind of in that position as well right now, although he is
Yeah.
promising to actually update. But he disappeared for a fucking year. Like, he put the early access alpha out. It didn't get on Steam, which I
know.
guess is a blessing.
So many people are just like, Cube World really cut me
Shit, Cube
deep,
World's
man.
going to be amazing.
Cube
And then
World,
nothing
I
happened.
don't know if I can let my heart love again. I'm like, calm down, damn.
Who do
But
you
I like
talk
the
to?
idea Jesse Cox had, basically having a small team basically dedicated to going over games. This game's broken; it should not be on Steam.
They need a watchdog, basically. They
Yeah,
need a
exactly.
watchdog panel where they go and check out, like, if there are complaints about a game. You don't have to go and like just randomly pick games, because if a problem's reported with a game, you have a fucking watchdog group that goes and checks whether or not this game is actually above board and legit. You know?
There you go.
And early access is, as far as I'm aware, there are no rules as to how long you can be in early access. In theory, you could be in early access for fucking ever.
Yeah.
Right.
No? And there seems to be no obligation to finish your game. None.
I think that's a fantastic idea. That yeah, sure, we'll release whatever, but if there's complaints about your game, we're gonna send our watchdogs in, and we'll determine whether that game deserves to be on here or not.
Mm-hmm.
And if not, we were kicking your ass off, and then we'll look at your future games that you bring here. I think that'd be a great so
Yeah.
you have one mark against you. So we'll see your next game, and
I have no problem with that. I'm not talking about hardcore curation of someone in Valve is responsible for deciding whether a certain game gets on Steam and maybe they just don't like the genre. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about basically enforcement for when people complain, and some kind of restitution for those that do. Because if they get burned on these products, you don't pull caveat emptor shit on me. That's bullshit. You sold this game. The store sold this game. In the UK, at any rate, the store's actually responsible for the refund. That's the way that it works under UK law. Probably in most European countries, too.
Yeah, it would.
So don't pull that shit on me.
I feel like we just need... Look, Steam, just assemble an A-team of game players. People who like different
We've
games.
talked about this before. Yeah.
I'm telling you, so you get the one guy who's into RPGs and the one guy who's into FPSs, and you have them all play the same game, so that way you can have anyone who's like, oh, well, this is just shit because this isn't the genre I like. And at the end, they come together, and one guy smokes a cigar the entire time, and one guy's Mr. T. It'll be great. Make it happen. That's all I'm saying.
Another idea for something like early access would be, I want there to be a time limit. I also want there to be, I think there should be a milestone system in that, where you, as a developer, one of the conditions of being able to sell your unfunctional shit early and get a bunch of money for nothing is that I'm being completely unbiased here, but if you hadn't already noticed, is you should have to set milestones, and you should have to say, look, at this time, we are going to achieve this goal. There can be a bit of leeway. Maybe you've got maybe you have the ability to delay it a week or whatever. But if you keep missing milestones, your shit should get pulled. And you can get back on Steam when you've proven that you've got your shit together and your project's back on track.
Yeah.
I think you need a system like that. I'll tell you what, Clay do a fantastic job of this. You're never wondering when the next patch will come for Don't Starve, because it has a fucking countdown on their page. It's like, the next patch includes this, and it's gonna be out on this date. And there's a countdown. The transparency is just perfect. And they don't even need to do that. They're out. That game is out. They don't have to give you shit anymore. That game's done. And yet they are willing to provide that stuff. And early access games, there's no fucking refunds. Huh? When they don't, who enforces it for hundreds of games? Not my fucking problem! You want to make money hand over fist selling someone else's game? Take some damn responsibility! Valve have infinite cash! This is not, a logistical issue. You fucking hire people. That's how you do it. You hire people. Steam's back catalog is not that big. It is not as huge as people make it out to be. And the vast majority of games that are already on Steam will never require that oversight. Ever. Because they're finished. They're done. There's actually not that many early access games. Let's find out how many there actually are currently in early access. Let's go.
Can we look up that?
If we click games in early access, it only shows a kind of 100 at a time. I want to know how many early access games. Oh, here we go. 202. There are only
215. Is that?
Oh, you're showing 215? I'm showing 202. Yeah. That's weird. I wonder what determines that. But there are, according to...
because mine has trailers in here, too.
Oh, right, okay. Right. Yeah. I'm showing on the early access page, I'm showing there's only 202 early access games. So this is not a case of, well, there's 10,000 games. We couldn't possibly. Yes, you fucking can. There are only 200 of these things. You absolutely can have a small team that keeps an eye on shit. No problem. Sure. No problem. That is totally within your power. That is practical. And again, most of the time you don't even have to, because a lot of these are just fine. They're ticking over just fine. Don't have to worry about it.
You know what they could do that would even be easier, which it probably wouldn't be as trustworthy, I don't know, but they could literally just be like, we are looking for people, internet, and if you want to be involved in this program, sign up, and when a game is questioned, we'll give you a copy of it, and you can play the game and determine if it's good or not. And so they just outsource it to people who already use Steam.
Yeah.
They can easily do that.
You're right. That would be the sketchier way to do it than being this will actually be your job. You'll actually be able to rely on them.
You know they would. They're all about giving the power to the user. But the problem is they don't give the power to the user. Like the Steam tagging system. What a fucking farce that turned out to be. Oh, we're just going to ban any tag we don't like. Then what's the point? You can't even tag a game you play anymore. Like, you can, if it's an Ubisoft game that uses Uplay, you literally cannot use the Uplay tag. That's a useful tag! Come on! But it's okay, because you can use Masterpiece, which is thoroughly fucking subjective and useless. You know? You can still tag fucking Sudoku with horror. That's fine. You can still do that. But you can't use tags like Uplay or Mobile Port. You can't use that.
So stupid.
Don't give the power to the user and then just take it away again. Valve does this all the fucking time. They talked about Greenlight as being that. What's the point in having Greenlight as your gatekeeper when you give carte blanche to any publisher to dump whatever fucking game they want and bypass the Greenlight system entirely? What's the point in that system even existing then? You know? Yeah. It's like, here's some power, but in the back door, we're gonna just do something else entirely.
Do whatever we want, yeah.
And currently their aim, they claimed this like over a year ago. I don't know when this is gonna happen. But they got to the point where they were saying, we're gonna let users create their own stores. And that's how curation is gonna work. Yeah? That's how curation will work. You will create your own store for your friends, or people that trust you. You know, if you're a YouTuber, you'll create your own store. You know, we give you a small cut, and you will curate it in whatever way you want. You could create an entire store just for, like, roguelites, if you want.
Right.
Or entire store for puzzle games. And people that like those kind of games would determine who is the trendsetter, who is the tastemaker, and they'd buy from them. Cool. Right. Sounds great. When's it gonna fucking happen? Because
I was gonna say, I remember that being mentioned.
Over a year ago. And still not hide nor hair of that. Hide nor hair. And they've done nothing to fix the front page. It's getting worse. And then we have some game developers coming out saying, well, the front page of Steam shouldn't be a storefront. The clue's in the fucking title. It is a storefront. Yeah. It remains a storefront. Like, you can't call it not a storefront when on the front page you have this big fucking banner at the front that says, here are featured games. That's what a store does. To buy. Yeah. In our store. This is the front of our store. I'm sorry. It would require Steam to completely remodel itself and go away from being a store entirely. It's a store. It is a store. They decide what is stocked in that store. They still do. You know, there are still people that can't get on Steam because they can't get through Greenlight or whatever. There's delays. I mean, again, we're talking about Amputee. That game's been out for a fucking year. It only just got on Steam. So, it's not like this doesn't happen. I'm just kind of sick of Valve floating around, like, trying to assume all responsibility. Something. Just do something about it. Anything at this point.
I mean, we've been saying this
a long time.
I feel like we've been talking about this since we started this podcast. You know, like it's a
subject that's going to keep coming in circles.
Well, until it gets fixed. You know, Steam is dominant. It's got to do something about it. It's in a position of responsibility.
Yeah, it is nearly a monopoly.
Pretty much, effectively. If you're not on Steam and you're not like a huge free-to-play game, or maybe you're on Origin, maybe you're an EA first-party title, then you're fucked. Yeah. There's no doubt about that.
Yeah.
Now, would Steam ever do away with early access? I don't see a reason for them to. Like, they're making money hand over fist, and they've managed to avoid all responsibility for every problem that's with that game by putting the word early access on it. Developers love it because they get money for releasing unfinished stuff that never has to actually be finished. There are no consequences other than their reputation. And besides, it's very easy for a company to disappear and reappear as something else, and nobody will know any the wiser. It's not like you have to reveal who works for your company. You're not listed on the NASDAQ, for fuck's sake. You're a 5 men in a garage. You could be called Deathlord69 for all the internet cares.
Yeah.
Which is a fantastic name for
or you could be called
first-person shooter, I think.
Shoot. Woodwork fuck. What was that joke we made at the beginning? Shit, wait, no, I'm gonna find it.
Give her time.
What was that joke?
Clockwork.
Yeah, go for it.
Clockwork, woodwork. Clock.
What is wrong with you?
There was a joke that happened at the beginning of this podcast, and I can't remember it right now, okay?
What?
We'll wait. Please continue.
No, we won't. Not at all. I'll put my foot down on this shit. Jesse, you don't have the reins anymore. I've taken them away.
This is so important to me. You don't understand.
No, it's not. It isn't.
Clockwork
not.
Woodwork.
Was that it? Clockwork.
No, I don't think you even know what you're talking about.
You
anymore.
guys know in chat, not you idiots, but you guys in chat, you know what I'm talking about. Somebody tweeted at me. I'm gonna cry.
No.
Nobody knows what you're talking
I don't know
about.
what's
No
happening.
one has. That has not even been a conversation today. I don't know what you're talking about.
Not a clue.
idea.
What the fuck is happening? You know, I made the comment last week. People are saying, "Oh, why is it that when Jesse runs the show, it doesn't get us derailed?" It's like because Jesse's usually the one responsible for the derails. I'm beginning to believe that wasn't true. I'm beginning to
Thank
believe
you.
the culprit
Thank
was someone
you.
else entirely.
Thank you. That's all. I've been saying that for a year. Thank you.
Anyway, like as much as you keep looking for your joke, whatever the case.
Woodwork circle jerk. Fuck yourselves. Woodwork
Totally
circle jerk
worth it.
because TV said
Totally.
that the circle jerk came out of the woodwork, and I said that would be a great name for a band. The Woodwork Circle Jerk. Fuck yourselves. I knew it.
That was worth That was worth.
Oh my god.
That was worth 2.5 minutes.
Yeah, that was really
was
useful.
worth it.
Thanks for that.
That was worth it.
Oh my god. Someone give her meds back. Yep.
What were we talking about?
I think it's important that this discussion is currently going on. It is. It disturbs me greatly just how many consumers are anti-consumer. That's what fucking gets me. The most people that are defending this bullshit are the people affected by it. Like, it's not the devs coming out of the woodwork with a vested interest, you know. It's no surprise that Gary Newman is speaking out against this kind of stuff. You know, he's in favor of early access. He made a lot of money that way. And to be fair, Rust is not completely awful. And sometimes there's no hackers, so that's cool.
No,
But
that's what I'm saying. Like, he's the comment, the
Gary's
person who
mod's
delivers the
amazing,
message.
obviously.
The person who delivered the message was biased in what he was saying.
Well, yeah, but I mean, so are we, though. You know, everyone's
No,
going to be
that's-
biased in one way or the other.
Agreed. And I think the easiest solution is just to stop. It's a conversation no one will ever agree on unless Steam gets their shit together and says, "Yeah, okay, we'll fix this." But
Well,
the solution
getting Steam
isn't
to
what they
fix
want to do.
anything is the main problem.
That's the problem.
They are silent whenever they are a stone wall. Like, they just don't talk until they want to talk.
Yep.
You remember how long it took to get the fucking DLC button? Go click that, by the way, right now. Go click that fucking DLC button on the front page and see how much that was fucking needed.
Okay, hold on.
I'm going to wait for your reactions. It's going to be wonderful.
New releases,
Make
show
sure-
DLC.
Yeah, yeah. Hey, guys, you like Spider-Man suits? Don't worry, we have 3 of the same Spider-Man suit listed on the front page. You can get black suit, or black suit. We also have
I like
2
Noir
Iron Spider
Spider-Man.
suits.
No, our Spider-Man looks great. He's like, yeah, see, I put on a vest, see?
Nah.
Yeah.
3 pieces of DLC for villagers and heroes. Like 12 pieces of DLC for Amazing Spider-Man 2. Enjoy! Scroll down, it gets even better. 8 new pieces of DLC for Rocksmith. A game, by the way, that doesn't even fucking work if you have a proper audio interface. The PC version's a piece of shit.
Seriously, the best part about this is if you don't click that, the first 2 games are Bus Driver, Dark Raid 1, 2. If you click it, Bus Driver's not to the 4th one down, and Dark Raid isn't even on the first
And
screen.
that's the only new game that came out today.
That's amazing.
Don't tell me that Steam isn't fucked. It's fucked.
It's a woodwork circle jerk, man.
Yeah, pretty much.
Woodwork circle jerk.
If you want to give the power to YouTubers, it's a weird fucking thing to do, isn't it? Like, this whole store idea, like, simultaneously, I'm massively in favor of it because it'll make me fucking rich. But secondly, I'm massively against it because giving someone like me that degree of power is fucking scary. I can't be trusted to fucking wash the dishes properly, let alone manipulate the entire Steam storefront. And then, of course...
will.
Yeah, of course you will. But you know, basically what you're doing, like what you are doing as soon as you implement that, you are giving PewDiePie the keys to the kingdom. PewDiePie will become the most powerful man in gaming overnight as soon as that system is put into play.
That's true.
Did I tell you how much I fucking love PewDiePie? Buddy! Buddy!
Let me guess, better to reign in hell than serve in heaven, right, Jesse?
Yep. it's
I gotta
true.
pick my side now, man. It's only a matter of time.
Begun the Steam Wars have.
Smart move.
Ain't no rapture for me. I'm picking sides now.
Oh my god. It's terrifying. But frankly, like, I suppose giving power to multiple people is better than just leaving it in the hands of Valve. Because Valve has made it clear they are okay with unfinished games. They are not okay with giving refunds for them. They are okay with their front page being a mess. They are okay with strategy first, dumping 20 pieces of shit on the front page whenever they feel like it. They are okay with Put and his briny gulch. So, frankly, fine, give us the keys, but please do it soon. God. And don't trust reviewers or critics or whatever to be able to keep up. We can't! You remember that day I said there was 17 games on Steam? What the hell are we supposed to do? Like,
Yeah.
All right, guys, marathon streaming time. 10 minutes per game. Let's go. Come on.
I'm gonna get a really good idea of what this game is like from beginning to end with just these 10 minutes.
It's impossible. We can't keep up. It just can't be done. Yeah, so, yeah. I say, I'm not saying Gary Newman doesn't know what he's talking about. He evidently does. He's made a very successful game that isn't done yet. And he also made a very successful game about sticking shopping carts to people's faces.
No,
Which,
but I mean, that's
is
why
great.
that's why of all the people to even deal with this.
that's why his
you know,
perspective is off. I mean,
is-
well,
yeah.
I mean, it's cool to see this interview, but I mean, when I last took on this, I emailed 5 separate indie devs about this, and they all said the exact fucking opposite to him. So, it's... I have no doubt that discoverability is a huge deal to everybody, consumers and to developers, and that indie devs are fucking pissed off about being buried under this stuff. Of
course.
Because that's the only thing they can hope for is either they stay long enough on the front page to gain some traction, or some big YouTuber picks them up. What a potluck fucking lottery it must be. It's like, hey, can I pay the rent this month? Only if Toby Turner likes me. I would not want to be in that situation under any circumstances. No offense. Well, some offense. Yeah. So, there. Yeah.
always
Something must be
picking
done.
fights.
Oh, says you, the guy that starts grudges with people for the... You started
Look.
grudge with Trump before knowing who he was. Like,
It's not my fault. Trump sold out Twitch to YouTube, and that's why YouTube wants to buy it. I didn't make that happen.
you lying piece of shit.
Look,
He's genuinely
so
hurt.
he became so successful. YouTube noticed Twitch for the first time. It's his fault.
Senpai noticed him as a result of Trump. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right, is there any other news that you would like to cover? Banzai, is there anything in particular, a topic that you would like to cover before we hit the new releases? Anything that's tickled your fancy?
Nothing that's tickled my fancy as of late, no.
Cool, let's go to releases.
What is going on?
The fuck is happening?
What?
Nobody heard that? Pretty sure I heard that. Loud and
I
clear.
heard it too. That was
I heard it
obviously
too.
Roger.
It wasn't
Okay,
me.
fair enough. All right, let's do
I
I
the
make
releases
facial
then.
reactions when things happen.
Someone,
in my
it sounded like
face.
someone was dropping marbles down wood stairs. It was great.
All right. Let's rock and roll with new releases, shall we?
Okay, there aren't that many before next Tuesday, but today Murdered Soul Suspect came out for
It did.
PS4, Xbox One, Xbox 360, PS3, PC, and PS3 Network.
You know,
Heroin Dream came out for
sorry, what?
PS3 Network.
What
I
the
don't know.
fuck?
Heroin Dream.
looking that up.
That doesn't
With an
sound
E
like a
at
good
the
idea.
end, like Lady Heroin.
Oh, boo!
Oh, okay.
There's a Heroin Dream 2? What?
It's a PS1 import apparently. It was in Japan on PlayStation, the original. Oh, it's an idle sim. Oh fuck me, Japan.
Lol.
Yep.
Oh yeah, no.
Can
I'm
you
looking at
balance your
pictures now.
heroine's confidence, athleticism, and stress to make sure they've got what it takes to rise to the top? This simulation
some
games
rising going
feature.
on.
This is a line. This simulation game features a lot of detailed menus. Sold.
Amazing.
So detailed.
Yeah, so there's that if you're interested in that. Pixel Junk Shooter Ultimate for PlayStation Network Vita and PS4 comes out.
Ah,
That's
Pixel
okay.
Junk. Good shit.
Pixel Junk Shooter?
Yeah.
Yep.
Pixel Junk's
Yep.
great. What else?
Worms Battlegrounds comes out for PS4 today.
Another Worms game. What's different?
Worms game?
What's different on this one exactly?
This one has Battlegrounds.
What were the rest of them then?
Worms.
Just really
battle.
angry worms.
I'm reading some reviews of
Out
it
in
right
the
now.
world.
Worms, exactly as you know it. Yup.
Worst
If I-
review.
It's alright, it's got more weapons and single player content than ever before, because everyone plays Worms for the fucking single player, right?
Yeah.
Yep, it's the same game that we have played a billion times already, apparently, so... Yeah, there's not much going on with that. But they have a new hat, though, so that's okay.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah.
June 6th, Tomodachi Life comes out for 3DS and 3DSe.
Oh, yes.
OMG.
OMG.
Tomodachi Life, yes.
Lifeless Planet comes out for PC on June 6th as well.
Lifeless
Whatever that
Planet.
is.
What is that?
Type it into Google, guys.
It's a new 3D action game, and is is apparently is it in space? Is it in space? No, it's a Soviet spaceman that is not in space. This
He's
it's
on
called
planet
Lifeless
Earth.
Planet. He was on Earth the whole time.
Oh no.
I'm not finding any information here. I'm looking on the website. It's like there is a spaceman, and he's on Earth, and everyone's not there, and that's all I know. Okay.
Perfect.
The fact that I'm looking at like some of the screenshots, like, oh, that's pretty, but it's a desert for thousands of miles. It looks like
Yeah,
it's
it's
like,
just only
oh damn,
desert.
that seems like fun.
Leave the comfort and safety of Earth and journey to a distant world. Discover that the planet scientists thought was rich with life is instead a barren wasteland. Find out other explorers had already set foot there on the planet many years ago. Struggle to explain the existence of another human in this apparently uninhabitable land. Will you put aside your
It's
skepticism and
Earth.
follow her to preserve your life? I still don't know what it is. That didn't help me in any way.
Is it
We've
single player?
actually been
Yeah,
living
so-
on New Earth and went to old Earth.
Incredible. I believe it is, so I don't know what it is.
That's so
Okay.
deep. Wow.
I'm blown
The
away.
last game to come out before next Tuesday is called Haunt the House Terror Town for PC.
Haunt
Oh, yeah.
the House Terror Town.
Have you
sounds
seen
awesome.
Raise the roof Terror Town.
Have you seen the trailer for this? Because it is the cutest. I'm gonna play it. It is the cutest looking. You play as the cutest ghost I've ever seen. He's like,
Side-scrolling-
ghost.
A side-scrolling action puzzle game starring ghosts. It's got a nice website.
Wait.
Very cute. It's very cute. You basically are trying to scare people in your house, and you're this ridiculously. You look like the happiest ice cream cone that ever existed,
Aww.
and you just scare people. I want to
seems
play
cool.
this so badly. Yeah.
Yeah, that looks really cool. Have you played this? I think this was on PlayStation Mobile before.
Never played it. No, it
did
comes
you
out
play
the
it?
6th.
Banzai, did you play it?
I have not played it, no, but I've seen it, and I think it looks it's intriguing. It's very intriguing.
Cute. Yeah.
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 I saw Game Grumps playing it once, I think. That's where that's where I knew about it.
Interesting.
Man.
Yeah, 'cause I believe because it's been available for quite some time, but obviously since it went through the greenlight process, that's an issue.
Yeah.
It's probably why I got greenlit in the first place if Grumps played it.
Yeah. probably.
Haunt
cool.
the house. Why don't you give me a free copy? Wink, nudge, poke.
Jesse, you don't seem to understand how this fucking works. You get a PR guy or you do work yourself and you fucking email them. That's how you get codes. You don't expect to be showered in them from on high.
But I wanted this one, not other ones.
God.
TV. I didn't know this existed until I saw it when we were looking at Steam earlier today. If I had, I would have asked for it. But I didn't, so now I want it.
So what you're telling me is you don't know anything and you have no awareness of the current marketplace, which means you don't deserve it, right?
Here's the thing. Whether you deserve it or not doesn't matter on YouTube.
Well, I can't disagree with that.
That's true.
Cannot disagree with that one.
Truer words were never spoken.
Indeed, they were not. All right, what is it? What's next? What's next?
That's it until next Tuesday.
Well, really? That's it?
Yeah. That's
Fuck
it. That's
me,
on
really?
that list.
You don't
Seriously?
release that many
That's it?
games Right before E3, come on.
Because
I
everyone's
guess.
gonna hold it.
That's a fair point.
Yeah.
Yep.
Even-
Dark
even,
Raid came out today. That's something that wasn't mentioned. Dark Raid. It's an indie FPS. It looks like a sci-fi first-person shooter. It has single player and multiplayer.
Ooh. Ooh.
It also has tough enemy bots. Enjoy being a robot warrior and fight the sinister enemies without mercy. We'll see.
It looks like Deep Space with like less graphics.
Yeah, it definitely doesn't look modern, but
No.
I'll give it a shot. Vector Games. Why have I heard of Vector Games? Maybe it's just a really just generic name for a game company. That's why. Yeah, it's. I'll try it. No doubt about that. I'll give it a bash. But according to this, they've been around since 2004. They're making games on. But this is their first game. No.
What?
I don't know. Huh. Oh, weird. All right, well, the Dark Raid is out. Yeah, it's $20. I'll probably check it out in the next couple of days. Hopefully, it'll be another good single-player first-person shooter, but I'm not 100% convinced by that. I don't think there's anything else coming out over the next few days that's really worthy of attention, honestly.
Yeah, I'm looking right now.
There's a bunch of old stuff that's already out on GOG. It's like, Free Space 2 is coming to Steam. It's like, yeah, GOG beat you by about 2 fucking years on that one. Wouldn't go anywhere near that. Not on Steam, anyway. Wouldn't trust it. Space Run's coming out next week. I actually just got code for that. Involves building a giant spaceship and, like, trucking parts across the galaxy while fighting off fucking aliens and shit. Actually looks quite fun. But yeah, that would be about it in terms of releases, I suppose. Nothing else, I don't believe.
Oh well, c'est la vie.
Yeah. That's it.
Are we doing a podcast next week?
For
No,
E3?
right?
Lauren asked me whether or not we are or not. Obviously, I'll be doing it remotely. I
will be at E3 all day, so
You probably wouldn't want to after that. A3 is.
Well, I mean, unless we did it at night, but I don't know that
would be
ever
really
happen.
late for me though, because
Yeah. Even
Probably
then,
not
we're
gonna
all
happen.
gonna be
I
like,
think-
"Ah."
yeah. Let's try and target one for maybe after E3.
Yeah.
E3 is so draining.
Yes, it is.
It is.
Absolutely, no doubt about that. But since we have like 5 minutes left of the show, let's take an opportunity to ask when the next Birgirpall video is coming out. When the fuck is the next Birgirpall video?
Amazingly enough, later today in
Hey!
like an hour. Yes,
That's some synergy, right? Synergy.
exactly.
Will you tell us
I
what
had
it
to
is?
interrupt the upload because of you guys.
Will you tell us
So-
what it is?
It's the forest.
Oh, you did one of the forest.
Yes.
Okay.
And I like I said,
enough.
I enjoyed the game. If it wasn't as incredibly broken as it is, I would probably play it.
That
play
makes
the
for a
game
good
well.
video. Broken games make for a good
I was gonna say,
video.
you have a series called I
For us,
Broke.
yeah.
You're probably gonna do one on a broken game.
Yes. That tends to be easier, at least.
I would imagine it would be. Yeah.
Especially with Watch Dogs. Watch Dogs was so easy to make.
It
So
has its
easy.
moments.
It has its ridiculous moments. But I mean, it always happens with games that huge that get delayed. Then come and the company basically is just going to say, "Hey, let's just throw it out there."
Yep.
And that,
You
does
need
not
only
end
look at
well.
the list of games that you broke. It's like, yep, I can see why a lot of those would be broken. Star Trek, holy fuck, what a...
That's
What
my
a
favorite.
broke ass game.
That
That is
game...
my favorite video ever, and my favorite game with broken. It's
That game was painful, like, so painful. As I love Star Trek, and that makes me especially vulnerable to games like that. Oh, it was terrible. Absolutely fucking terrible. So sad. Cool, so that's the next one. Do you do anything else besides that? Anything else we should check out?
no, not really. That's basically just what I do and what we do.
Cool.
We just enjoy. This is just like I said. This is not our profession at all. We just really enjoy making these kinds of videos. So, like right now, we're getting a lot of them out because we're having a lot of footage. We're having a lot of content, and we've had some extra time. So we just decided, hey, this is fun. Let's get out as many videos as we can.
Sure.
Especially now with Birgirpall coming here to LA for E3. Who knows? Maybe we will get off a lot of videos this week and next week.
Very cool.
So definitely do check it out because it's hilarious.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Jesse, what's going on this week? What's going on?
I'm trying to get
The sirens
a
are
million
not me
things
this
done.
time. Just want to point that
Someone
out.
else is people
Sorry,
coming for him.
I'm in downtown LA.
Of course you are.
I bet.
That explains the marbles going down the stairs. It's all coming together now. It's all coming together now. I got a bunch of stuff to finish this week because next week is E3 Indie Week, and I'm just gonna plow through. I have literally a desktop full of indie games that I've yet to play, and I want to. So we're just gonna do one-offs all week long. And
Did you do Last
that's what I'll
Tinker
do.
yet, by the way? Play around with that.
I think we did it for a green light way back when, but
Yeah.
I know I played it. I just don't know that I did it for a Fan Friday or anything. But yeah, I had a lot of fun with that game.
It's like, it's good, but it's totally not my game in any way. It's like, it's an action platformer with some stealth sections, and it's cutesy. I'm like, oh, this is not, in a million years, gonna be for me. But,
I think I did a Fan Friday for that one. Yeah. No, it's there's just a lot of games like I can't even. They're all on my desktop. Needless to say, it's covered right now. But
I've got a lot catching up to do.
yeah, so I want to do those over E3 because since they're one-off things, and I want to make sure that they get the time they deserve because they're really good. There are only so many damn Fridays, so yeah.
Yep. No doubt about that. Dodger, what's coming up?
I'm off my hiatus now, so yay! Trying to do like 3 weekly streams now. We've got Welcome to the Fandom coming out finally on Wednesday, and Turn of Swords and Stitches is coming up as well. Super, super, super excited. And yeah, that's all on Press Hard to Continue. I also have Dexterity Bonus, where I do a vlog and talk about my cats and all of that stuff. My kitty's sick right now, so that's mostly what I've been talking about. That's how sick he is. But yeah, that's my life. All the social medias, I'm at DexBonus, DEXBONUS, so
Cool.
come hang out.
Awesome. All right. This week, I've got Mailbox will be coming out tomorrow. That's already done today. I don't know if I'll be able to get another video done today. Maybe, maybe not. We'll see how I feel. But videos will be a bit more sporadic because of the health shit. I think I'm going to go... I think I see my oncologist next week on Wednesday. So videos should hopefully be kind of regular up until that point. And then they'll be off and on, off and on, and off and on because of the whole treatment thing. But I'll try my best to stock up as many as possible. What I would like to let you guys know about is the Shoutcraft SanDisk Invitational that I am doing. Biggest StarCraft tournament I've ever run. It's fancy. The lineup is legendary. Quite literally. We have legendary StarCraft players in it, like Flash, the most legendary StarCraft player of all time. He is playing in it. People like Dongwei Gu, Hero, Life, Byung, Innovation, Zest, the other hero. Yeah, we put 2 heroes in it to confuse people. It was great. So it's going to be amazing. $10,000 prize money on the line. It's a 4-day event. I cast it with Artosis. It's my event completely, so I'll be doing all sorts of crazy stuff with that. It starts on Thursday, June the 5th at, I believe it is 8 p.m. EDT. So that's 5 p.m. on the West Coast. It's late in Europe, but we're dodging home story cup, so we don't really have a choice in the matter. And also, if you, for some reason, happen to be Korean and listen to this podcast anyway, which would be weird, but if you do, our Team Axiom Esports is going to cast it in Korean. And if you happen to be Chinese and would prefer to listen to the Chinese casters instead of me, then Neo TV will also be casting. All of the information is available on teamliquid.net. If you just look to the general forum, you find the Shoutcraft thing there. And there's a bunch of announcements and links that I put on youtube.com/Totalbiscuit as well. It's going to be an incredible tournament. It would be great if a lot of you showed up, and it's going to be on this channel, so you'll be able to enjoy that. Should be absolutely phenomenal.
Oh, fancy.
Outside of that, I will be obviously looking at what I can. I will try and look at Murdered Soul Suspect this week if I have the time. Try and look at Dark Raid. I've been playing a bit of Pandora First Contact, which is basically an Sid Meier's Alpha Centauri clone, effectively. Playing a bit of that. And I've also been playing a bit of the Long War mod for XCOM, and I have immediately regretted my decision, because holy fuck. That you thought that game was out to kill you previously? You ain't seen shit yet, son. Oh, good God in heaven. And I loaded up my first game of that, and it actually gives you 6 soldiers to start with. And Banzai, you've been playing a bit of XCOM, I believe, on the B-Team episodes you've been doing.
Yeah.
Oh my God. This mod, you start off with 6 soldiers, and it's like, oh, cool, I've got 6 guys, I'm gonna do great. You start with a couple of extra grenades. Fucking first pull is like 6 sectoids at once. And they have additional psychic powers, and they have fucking drones. So I'm fighting eventually 12 sectoids are like 2 drones, and my guys are panicking and running all over the place, and shit's going down. Like, oh my God! But this mod adds so much to the game. It's like it doubles the number of armor sets. There's 5 tiers of weapons, new enemy types with all sorts of different abilities. Your soldiers get fatigued now, so they're gonna have downtime. You can have up to 8 soldiers in a squad. Oh my God. I would love to. I'm working on making a video of that, but I need to play a lot of it, so that'll hopefully be my next Rockin' Mods episode. So we'll see how that one goes off. And I think that is pretty much about it. Yep, that's it for the Co-Optional podcast. Thank you very much for watching the show. I should, of course, remind you that the new Co-Optional Animated is out, but it's a cliffhanger. It's a two-parter.
Oh, what?
It's a
I haven't seen it yet.
two-parter. I haven't watched it yet either.
It's the Space Hydra one. So it is Space Hydra, and it's a two-parter, so feel free to watch that. And, of course, do check out the sister channel to Polaris, which is youtube.com/lore. That's youtube.com/lore. They have Wildstar lore in a minute, as well as Hearthstone lore. World of Warcraft! It's WoW! What else would it be? They also got Watch Dogs lore in a minute and things like that. So there's a bunch of great stuff over at youtube.com/lore. Lore! And I think that's about it. Thank you very much for watching the show. Do check out our YouTube channels. They are below, right here. I'm going to check those out. And Twitter, follow me at Totalbiscuit. Follow her at DexBonus. Follow him at Jesse Cox. And follow him somewhere else. It's at Biggie...
Bonsai BP.
Yes,
Yes.
and Biggie DVS, I think, is the...
DVS is the channel.
Yeah,
Birgirpall.
No,
Birgirpall.
don't follow him. He's got 2
Birgirpall.
followers. He's not a real person. BIGGIDVS to follow on
Yes.
Twitter. There you go. And that is us done for the day. Thank you very much for watching the show, folks. Thank you to the new subscribers. Of course, your support is very much appreciated. Pretty sure we banned a couple of you, so thanks for your support. And we will see you next time. Good night. Goodbye.
Good night.
Goodbye.
Bye-bye.